Hello.
All right. Just waiting on Dylan. Here he is. Um, Dylan, could you request to join real quick, if you don't mind? Actually, here we are.
There
You're
you go.
invited. Hello, everybody. Hello, all.
How are you feeling about those Maryville scores?
I'm going through. We'll get there. We'll get there.
But
I,
we'll
I'm
get there.
I'm a little bit excited to talk about it.
I know.
Pretty wild. I'm going through Oak Park's uh
There he
history
is.
right now. Dylan. All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome. No worries, no worries. Welcome to the Teardown, everybody. I'm Chris Mendoza. I'm live from Southern California. It was a beautiful day. It's dark now, but we're still here. I've been watching show choir all day. I'm so excited, and I am joined by my two
Hello.
lovely co-hosts.
Hello. I
Um,
am on. I'm live through my. Oh. Oh. Hold on.
Go ahead, Dylan. Introduce yourself. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead,
never mind.
Courtney.
Okay, hi guys. My name's Kortney. I run Show Choirs of Texas, and yeah, I'm super excited for the teardown this season.
Yes, yes, yes. You'll see a combination of me, Courtney, Dylan, two of us, one of us, every weekend, hopefully, of the show choir season to talk about results live as they come in. So we're super, super excited to get started. And we are going to start with the Maryville Spoof Hound Spectacular. We have a few results already in, and that is one of the competitions that has already wrapped. Um, the placements were as follows: Oak Park, Oak Street Singers, first place with best vocals. Scott Catholic High School Vivace, second place. I assume with best choreography, but they currently don't have best choreography listed as of now. And then third place, New Score Singers, Smith Cotton High School. And then no placement for Pleasant Hill Hillside Singers or Denison High School Singing Ambassadors. This is Oak Park's first win, first grand championship since 2019. A huge win for Oak Park. Courtney, what do you think?
I mean, they're coming for blood this season. I mean, they're a brand new group of kids that haven't won a grand championship yet. They're excited, and I'm sure that this is going to be a big push for them this season.
Yeah, I hope so. The Missouri circuit is rather small, and you have to think that a win like that, um, it seems like they're competing three times this season. A win like
Hmm.
that has got to feel good. That's a third of your season coming home on a grand championship. Do you have any comments about the rest of the placements?
I am in the same boat as Sooner State Show Choir. I kind of had Pleasant Hill placing. I've seen them in person before, and I know that they're a strong group.
Hmm.
But obviously every year it's a new start for a show choir, and you kind of
Yeah.
gotta see where you lead.
Well, this could maybe be a stronger year for
Hmm.
Missouri as a whole, assuming that, someone who you would expect to make finals doesn't, you know, obviously you feel for the kids who didn't place, but it does speak to the strength of the circuit as it moves along and it's,
For sure.
sort of infancy, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, let's give a quick shout out to the Tier 2 division. Our three groups placing were Cameron High School Lights Camera Action, excellent name. Chillicothe High School Coraliers, I hope I said that right. And then Smith Cotton Broadway Velocity. And then in the treble division, we had Smith Cotton Cabaret taking first place, Mercy High School Troublemakers taking second, and then no placement for Oak Park High School Treble Effects, but we assume that is third because that's the last group in that division. And then in the middle school division, we have Westside Connection from Westside Middle School winning first place. And Smith Cotton Junior High School Sound Effects taking home second, and Carrollton Middle School 10th Street Singers taking third. Hello, hello, everybody. Let's hear from our chat. Do we have any Missourians in the chat right now that would like to comment on any of those results as they have happened? What regions do we guys track? We will be tracking every region. We'll be focusing mainly on our comps of the week, but we will be focusing a little bit on every region throughout the season. We know combined a good amount about every single region. So Dylan, I don't know if you heard our quick breakdown of Maryville, but do you have any comments on that?
You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, we can.
Just making sure. I'm very sorry. My technology was being weird.
No, it's totally fine.
Oak Park, massive win. Just an absolutely massive win for Oak Park. I know that may be a program that maybe and not a lot of people had winning it. So honestly, being able to start the season like that with a huge win, possibly a sweep, that's massive. That's really massive because I don't remember their schedule, but I mean, this is the first time in a while I think Oak Park's gotten a win. So just getting on this foot quick, I think that really gives a lot of. I think that's a great omen for the future of the season for them, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on to Van Buren Night Music 2026, the inaugural competition from Van Buren High School. Takes place in Van Buren, Ohio. We have results in finals as follows. First place, winning Best Vocals, Best Choreography, Best Band, and Best Bass Soloist is Piqua High School, the company. In second place, we have Euclid Varsity Chorale winning Best Show Concept. In third place, we have Marion Harding High School, Harding Singers. In fourth place, we have Lebanon High School Singers. And in fifth place, we have Strongsville High School, Mustang Express. Dylan, we'll go to you first. What sticks out to you?
All right. I mean, first of all, big congrats to Piqua for the win. But I think the big thing I want to pay attention to is Euclid. Um, uh, I know we have a lot of Euclid fans in homeroom, so and they had a banger season last season. I think they showed a lot of people who they're made of. They turned a lot of heads there, and yeah, it doesn't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. I think they showed up. They placed ahead of a lot of schools in a tier above them, and yeah, no, another like Oak Park, great start to their season, and all I can say is keep it up, and you're gonna have another. I think you got another really great season ahead of you, for sure.
Kortney, let's go to you. What sticks out to you?
We knew this was going to be down to the wire point wise. But at the end, Pequot obviously pulled through with pretty much a full sweep. You have best vocals, best choreography, best band, and then best soloist, with the only other two captions being the best show concept and best set design going to Euclid and then Strongsville, respectfully. But yeah, I think they knocked it out of the water, and it's a good first test for both groups.
Yeah. Obviously a lot of credit. We love Piqua over at Homeroom Show Choir. But we love Euclid. Them going on their little run, and me, of course, I'm a personal friend of their arranger over there. And I'm super excited for him and Euclid's success. Big shout out to their choreographers, Stefan Macklin, and I believe it is Gabriella Mack. This is it's so huge for younger choreographers to have a group like this doing so well in the region. So good for them. We also have it on good authority that in prelims, Euclid was in fact 1 point behind Piqua in choreography. So just right there,
So
right
close.
there. And of course, Piqua is they were always going to win this competition. They are a very, very strong group. Um, but it's really, really good to see Euclid, put up a fight against one of the mainstays in Ohio. Also, shout out to Marion Harding. Um, it was very, very close between the second and fourth placed, second through fifth place groups. It's a big, it was a big competition there. So shout out to Marion Harding for getting that podium spot as well. All right, let's go to the chat for a little bit. Let's see if chat has any comments on Van Buren Night Music 2026. Any thoughts from the chat? All right. Beaver Creek Midwest Show Choir Invitational is next weekend. What's your prediction for this competition? So we
Ooh.
will be doing Beaver Creek predictions live next week, almost certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but why don't we take a quick little detour and we can go. We'll pick our winners. Let's not do a full finalist. But let's pick our winner. Let's see.
Pulling it up.
Okay. In the Tier 1 division, the competitors are as follows. Lebanon Singers at 1 p.m. This is Beaver Creek, by the way. Hamilton Prestige at 2 p.m. Hurricane Red Hot 2:30. Loveland by Request 3 o'clock. Piqua at 3:30 p.m. Noblesville at 4 p.m. and so on at 4:30 p.m. That is stacked.
I know.
Wow. Let's take it to Kortney first. Who is your pick for Beaver Creek next week?
Oh my gosh. I feel like Tanya's gonna kill me if I don't say Red Hot. But um
Yeah,
I'm gonna go out on a whim and say Noblesville takes it.
Noblesville. All right,
Yes.
Dylan, to you.
Um, ooh, I think it's between three groups. I think Noblesville, Hurricane, and Solon can all take it. Noblesville will definitely be hungry because they've gotten so close the past couple times taking it.
Mhm.
But I think I'm gonna go with Solon. I think they're gonna run it back. I think they're gonna run it back.
I think I myself am going to go with Hurricane. I like their set designs. They're always so high energy. Um, I think I'm going to go with Hurricane with Solon in a close second, maybe taking vocals. I'm going to go with a Hurricane first place choreography at Beaver Creek. But
We know
let's
who Tanya's favorite is now.
right. Um, let's turn our attention for a second to Holman Gathering 2026. That is one of our comps of the week, and currently a very, very big one of the most competitive fields that we have this week. Um, they should be about halfway through finals right now. EOS will probably either be on or just off.
Holman was really delayed, I will say that. They were not on time whatsoever.
Check the stream real quick and see over there. I've got the stream running here.
Okay.
I can confirm or deny. But I would like for us to give our predictions for the podium at Holman, and we should be getting results on that by the around the end of the show. We will be running for 3 hours, hopefully. But let's see what I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let's go to Dylan first. Who do you think are going to take home the top three spots? And dole out captions if you would.
Um, oof. I feel like this is going to be playing it safe a little bit, given how chaotic the early season is. However, I'm going to go with Waukee Northwest. I think they're going to sweep. They're one of the best groups in Iowa. They're one of the best groups in an incredibly competitive state in Iowa. And
Hmm.
yeah, I think they're more than bad. I think they got the resume, they got the battle testing. I think they're going to take this. And then in second place, which I'm going to say it, I think this will be a little closer than people expect. I think I'm going to go on Alaska. I think they'll cover. I think they'll cover.
Okay.
I think on Alaska in a second, and then Sparta. Sparta in the three. Sparta's going to kill it visually. They always do. Kevin Chase has done a fantastic job with that group. They're always completely high energy. However, vocally, let's see, how high can they step up vocally? I think that's going to really determine how solid of a third they are.
Yeah. All right, Kortney, to you. What do you think?
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put Walkie Northwest in first as well. They're a very strong group visually. And looking at the judges, I personally know Stephanie Hyatt. I know that she loves visuals, loves she's a choreographer, so obviously, keep that stuff clean. And I feel like Walkie tends to do that pretty well. Second, I am gonna go on Alaska, another really strong group. I do think it'll be super close in between the two. Um, but at the end of the day, it's not your choice, it's the judges. And
Right.
then, yeah, you can think a group is, the best you've ever seen and they could place last because judges just don't see the same thing that you do, obviously. And then
Definitely.
I'm gonna go out on a whim and say that Vintage from, I can't pronounce that, Nia High
Nina
School?
Vintage, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that they're gonna pull a third.
Okay. All right. I have been watching Holman, and I have seen all of the finalists except for Reedsburg and Sauk Prairie. Um, I'm going to go EOS in first place. I'm not going to make any hot take there. Um, the live stream in general, I think, is really nerfing these groups a little bit. It's really hard to tell whose vocals are great and whose are not because everything sounds like it's peaking the recording equipment. It is what it is. But I have it on good authority from our good pal, our editor in chief, Will Soket, that EOS sounded great. So I'm not going to make a hot take here, and I think EOS will go in at the one with best vocals and best choreography. And I think in my two, I'm going to go Sparta. I'm going to go Sparta for the upset over on Alaska. I preferred Sparta's show just a little bit. Um, and I liked their music. I thought they brought great energy. I thought their choreography was great. And I'm going to go on Alaska in third. And so yeah, I'm really excited to see how this pans out. It appears that Reedsburg has just finished and Waukee Northwest is setting up. So that means that they're running about 15 minutes behind, roughly. So with that in mind, these results are going to be they're not going to be out for a little while. But and I'm sure all due respect to Waukee, but their setup does take quite a while, so I'm sure that they um will need a little bit of extra time to get set up as well. So we should expect to see those results maybe at 11 p.m. Central, at the earliest towards the end of our show. Okay, so let's move on since we're on the topic of Waukee Northwest. Who are going to be the Kings of Iowa this year as we await some more competition results? The top two is fairly undisputed year after year. It's been Linmar and it's been Johnston most of the time. But could this be the year that somebody dethrones one of those top two groups? Who are your three favorite Iowa groups going into this season? Dylan, we'll start with you.
Um, so obviously Linmar, because Linmar is just they're on another level. They're ridiculous. They're just completely ridiculous. And like, and then my second place, I think I'm gonna go Johnston. Johnston, they've got a lot to prove this year. They're going against Linmar. They're going against they're going against Broken Arrow next weekend. They're going against who else? And then yeah, they're going against Walking Northwest. Sorry, at Southeast Polk later. And then the
Mm.
big one, Heart of Miracle Orlando. First time they competed on a national scale in forever. I feel like. But yeah, they're going to get up against Los Alamitos and Omaha West Side, who they're up. I forgot to mention they'll go up against them as well. So yeah, Johnson, they've got a lot to prove. But if they can prove what they've got to prove, I think they can really solidify that number 2 placement. And then in third, there's like 5 choirs that you could put in this spot.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't see Ankeny Centennial or Waukee today, but from what I've heard in the group chats, both were absolutely electric. Both were incredible. So, and both of those two are. I'm gonna go with Waukee. I think Waukee will be the number 3 in Iowa because I think they turned a lot of heads last year after Urbandale when they got second, only behind Johnston in what was basically a national competition. It was a regional competition, but it was at the level of a national competition. They beat Millard West, they're another choir that had a crazy year. Mitchell, their crosstown rival, Walking Northwest, Broken Arrow. They beat a lot of really, really great national powers at Urbandale, and I think Tony Dam has done a great job with them. I remember I saw them a couple years ago at Des Moines Christian, and they had like insane vocals. Their vocals were just on another level at that competition. And yeah, I think they're gonna go up. I think they're gonna keep it up from last year. I think they're gonna be top 3 in Iowa.
All right, we'll go to you, Courtney, in just a second, but we're going to respond to a chat real quick. Will we be at Blue Valley next week? I don't know if any of our Homer Show Choir members will be physically there, but if you are tuning in to this podcast, this live stream, we will be live again at the same time next week, and we will certainly be covering Blue Valley. That is one of the most exciting competitions for me personally. Um, Getting Johnston, a consensus like top 10, top 15 group, going out there to Kansas is huge for the circuit and huge for show choir as a whole, and we will certainly be covering that next week. Now, Courtney, let's go to you. Top
Same
three Iowa
top,
groups.
yeah, same top two as Dylan. Linmar, I feel like, is absolutely insane. They keep coming up with ideas and everything that you can think of that would be in your imagination, somehow they come up with it. Somehow they display it on stage every season. And then number two, obviously Johnston, as you mentioned, Dylan, like they are a powerhouse lately, especially last season. And I feel like they'd be able to continue that reign over the Iowa circuit. And then my number three, maybe it's a hard one, but I think that Spectrum out of Ankeny Centennial is definitely going to be top three. They're coming off a killer season. They went to Heart of America Orlando where they got second and best choreography. They came out of Millard North and then Southeast Polk, and then obviously Waukee Northwest, and then Waukee Starstruck, where they came home with grand champions, and they actually went ahead and swept at Waukee Northwest last year. So I think they'll be able to continue that momentum.
Perfect. For me, I have the same top two as you guys do. Um, Linmar to me would be the betting favorite in a show choir competition of all the show choirs in the world to win the whole thing. Um, they seem unstoppable. They really proved themselves against Carmel very recently. They've proved themselves against Johnston, year after year, and they're just an anomaly of singing and dancing prowess. Um, in second, Johnston. I will go with as well. Johnston is, in my estimation, the best traditional show choir there is. They are just so clean, so energetic, so much fun, and I love them to death. And I'm gonna go with the same three as you, Kortney. I'm going with Ankeny Centennial Spectrum. I watched them on live stream a few hours ago, audio cutting out and all, and I was blown away. Um, I think that this is probably their best set since their classic 2020 set at the ballet. That is just, such a classic set of theirs, and I think this is their best since then. I love their set last year. I love their set this year even more. And I think they're going to take home that third spot. And if they challenge Johnston, I think it could be close. I would still take Johnston ultimately, but I think it would be a little close for comfort for them. Um, I would love to give a shout out to Waukee Millennium as well, though. I also saw their performance this week and, earlier today, and I thought they were incredible. I thought they were even better than last year, and last year they did a lot of amazing things. Um, so they would be a close fourth place for me.
Before we move
So,
on, we did just get results from Cedar Rapids Xavier Extravaganza.
all right, let's take a look.
Do you
We
care if I go
have,
ahead?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so in first place, this group has a special place in my heart. It is one of the first groups that I posted when I took over this show choir account. It is Fourth Avenue Jazz Company out of Iowa City, and they swept the competition with grand champion, best vocals, and best choreo. And then in second, we have Marion High School New Creation. Third, we have Keokuk High School Purple Harmony. And then in fourth place, we have Nexus from North Polk.
All right, Dylan, what are your thoughts?
Um, Yet again, big win for Iowa City, Fourth Avenue Jazz Company, getting off on the right foot, and what was and actually I remember last season Marion they actually upset Iowa City last year at Anamosa, I believe. So I think Iowa City getting that get back against Marion. Marion, another solid, a great result from them, still ahead of most of the pack here at Xavier. And the big one I see is Keokuk, where I think there's I think they I think going placing ahead of North Polk, who has had some solid results in the past years. They're another smaller group, but they've had some good results in the last year. Purple Army, Keokuk, um, I actually have some experience with them. I remember watching them live a while ago. I think in 2018, back when Nick McGraw was still there. I don't remember when he left that, but I remember I watched them live. I remember, and I was really impressed by them live. And yeah, I think this is a good omen for them to maybe get back into the thick of Iowa. I think they've fallen under the radar in the last few years, so this could be a good omen for them to really get back into the thick of Iowa's very loaded, small mixed groups.
Yeah, definitely. Big shout out to Iowa City. Um, I was just checking their results from last year, and they did not have a grand championship last year. And in fact, they had four second place finishes, which has to be excruciating to come so close that many times. It's got to be very therapeutic, I imagine, to get your win on your first competition of the year. Um, it's big for them. No huge surprises for me here, but still great results nonetheless. Um, so Choirs of Keller asks, what is the topic of today's live? We are going to be streaming every Saturday from 7 to 10, sorry, I should say 9 to 12 Central on live discussing results of competitions across the world and across show choir in general. And we'll be, having some other fun discussions in between every Saturday for the whole season. So come stop by. We'll be live. Thoughts on Web City Singers versus Johnston? Woof. I love Web City. I saw their show last year. I enjoyed it, but Johnson's a beast. Okay. Do we have any other results in? I'm refreshing frantically all my pages.
Yeah, I think Tomas should be in around 10 or so. I think
Okay.
last I
Yeah.
checked.
So we have a good question from the comments over here from Gianna. Top three treble groups. Kortney, how about you start us off?
I'm so biased to Texas. I can't.
Be
Ah,
biased.
okay, I'm gonna be biased. Right now, Keller Lumina, they are, I believe, entering their third or fourth season. Um, Killing it, if I could say. Um, they placed, I think, top three their first year. In my Texas rankings, they're top 15 in the whole state, if that says anything. Um, Love them, love their set designs, costumes. They're perfect in my eyes. I love them. And then you transfer over to like Los Alamitos, their treble group. Oh my gosh. I saw them in person at Wheaton one year, and that changed the trajectory of my life, I swear.
I'm
I
sure.
think I, I think I died, and especially seeing Los Alamitos live, I went crazy. But I don't know who else. Debtones. That's my top three. That has to be Debtones.
All right. I'll go next. I had the absolute privilege last year of being able to see Fisher Sound, Center Grove Deptones, Los Al Soundtracks, and John Burroughs Sound Sensations all live in one year. Amazing treble choirs that all happened to be in my home state last year. Um, and I have to say, Ankeny Centennial Vortex is still my favorite treble group. I remember when I think they debuted in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and that Bird in a Cage show really kind of altered my brain chemistry, so to speak. I love that show. And then I think my number two would have to be Burroughs Sound Sensation. Sound Sensation and soundtracks flip-flop for me just based on the year. But I think Sound Sensations more consistently has been my favorite. Although this year I think I preferred Los Al slightly, or last season, mind you. Um, my last spot I'm going to give to Fisher Sound. I did prefer them a little bit to CG Debtones, even though Debtones is obviously a force to be reckoned with. So that's my top three. Dylan, we'll go to you.
Um, yeah. So, of all the single gender groups I watched last year, I think my favorite had to be Caramel Accents. I think they had one of my favorite themes. I think their costumes were incredible. I thought like the birdcage costumes were just they're super so creative and so awesome. Their choreography is great, amazing. Dwight Jordans are doing them, so that's to be expected. But they really kill it there, and obviously their vocals, Carmel. We all know they
Carmel.
sing good. But and then second place, I'm also another Indiana group. Give me Fisher Sound. Um, they're I think they just have a lot of energy, and that's my favorite thing in show choir is energy. So they give off such an energetic performance. Their vocals are incredible. Their choreo is also incredible. They're one of the best choir. They're one of the best treble choirs in Indiana year after year. They're usually competing for that one spot, and for good reason. They are just they're amazing. If you get the chance to watch them live, I have not yet, but I've watched them on many live streams. I'm jealous of you. I really am jealous of you. And then my number three, who was it? Who was it? Um, my number three, maybe my number three is going to be from the South. I know there's a lot of great Southern groups, and another check. It's not going to be Tupelo. My number three is Oak Mountain Muses.
Whoa.
I love their show.
What?
Their shows are incredible.
Wow.
Just like And like I know sometimes there's like just like the production design, just and they have the energy to match it. I know there's a lot of people in there's a lot of show choir fans that are like, oh, these shows shouldn't have like these big production designs and stuff. It takes too long to set up. It makes it into musical theater, yada yada. And yeah, but I think they just have the energy, they have the choreo, they match that production design and they really elevate it. Like I think my rule in that is if you want to have that kind of production design, you've gotta perform like you do. And Oak Mountain Music they just perform like they do. I didn't see them live the past couple years. I saw them live at Show Choir Nationals. I think 2023. They won they won the single gender division and a very loaded single gender division against groups like Home Nexus and Mount Zion Les Femmes. And yeah, they just blew us all away. And yeah, they just continue to pop out some of the most fun shows, some of the most energetic shows year after year. So Oak Mountain Muses, I think they're going to be my number three.
All right, there we go. Um, from there, have we any other results? I'm checking
Give a little
Show Choir
refresher.
Slack.
Does not look like it at the moment.
Okay, looks like no results as of now. What state pumps out the best show choirs? California. Non-biased. Okay, let's go to let's bring the topic of conversation to Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavalier Classic. This competition is still ongoing, and I want to hear who your podiums will be for this competition. Starting with you, Dylan, who will be your top three here?
Um, so my number one, Ankeny Centennial Spectrum. They were the favorites going in today, and from what I've heard from the live stream, they're the favorites after prelims. And I think they're just one of the best groups at their best. They're one of the best groups in the nation, and I think yeah, I do think they're the favorite to win. No shade to anyone else here, obviously, but they're definitely the favorite to win. And second, um, hmm, I'm gonna go Omaha South. If Omaha South does get second here, great start to the season for them. That'd be a great start to the season. That basically proved they're starting the gauntlet off strong. The machine's up and running. If they get second here, watch out for them later in the season because they could be deadly. And in number three, this I I want to say Vortex, but I don't. Um, I think I'm gonna go Ankeny Centennial Vortex.
There it is.
One of the best treble groups in the nation. You may not know it because I don't think they've gone against the likes of your center, your Deptones, your Accents, your California treble groups, but they got a sweep over Carroll Select Sound, who is a very solid treble group year in and year out, and they've dominated the not just the Iowa scene, but just like the scene in just like the Sioux, what's it like Sioux, the Siouxland region. Sorry, they've just dominated that scene in general. They've made finals at pretty much every comp they've been in, I think. And if I think making finals as a single gender group's already a tall task. If you can consistently be in finals the way Vortex is in finals, that's something special. That's something special. And I do think there's a good. I honestly think pretty much I could see any of the other groups in third. I really could. Any group except Spectrum, I could see in in the second and third spot. But I'm gonna go Vortex in the third. I think I'm gonna go Vortex in the third.
All right, Kortney, over to you.
Can't add much because I would say the exact same thing that Dylan just did. I definitely see Spectrum pulling this out. The Ambassadors placing second, but they will end up coming for blood at some point in their season. I feel like either if they get second here, they're gonna use that and push forward more. If they end up in first today, then they're just gonna keep that momentum. And then I do see Vortex from Ankeny Centennial placing third. Kind of like Dylan said, I feel like Executive Suite could also pull it off. I don't know much about Eagle Express or Classic Connection, But I do know that Executive Suite is a pretty strong group as well. So I could see kind of any of those kind of going in that third spot.
Definitely. I have nothing to add again. I am gonna go with the exact same thing. And I was even gonna shout out Sioux Falls, Roosevelt for potentially sliding into that three, but no, I'm right there with you guys. Spectrum one sweeping, Omaha South second. I saw their show. I loved it. They sang in Spanish for most of the show, which was really really cool. And Ankeny Centennial Vortex in third place. I think Vortex could get second. But I just don't think the judges will do that. Judges typically don't like to have treble groups beating that many um, mixed groups in a competition in general. So I don't think they would do that and put them top two. But those are my three. That's what I would go with. And right now, Aberdeen Central Eagle Express is on stage.
Hmm.
And so there will be two more groups following that before we get those results.
I would say we're running about 30 minutes behind on that one.
Seems that way. Let's check. Toma should be coming in soon. Nothing yet. And Des Moines Christian for sure, nothing. Well, maybe. Des Moines Christian could be kind of close. Let's check. Okay, Waukee Millennium is currently on at Des Moines Christian. So,
Perfect.
on that note, let's give our top three for Des Moines Christian since they're coming to a close over there. Um, I'll start this time. I'm going to go Waukees, first place, vocals and choreography. I thought their show was absolutely next level, especially dancing wise. Um, I love me some difficult choreography, and they had that in spades, and they pulled it off extremely well, very clean. They're my clear favorites. I'm gonna go with Cedar Rapids, Washington in second place and Indianola in third. I saw both of the shows. I thought they were both good. I think they're just a little bit of a step above the rest of the competition, but I would have Pella in a very close fourth place. I think they could take it from Indianola. I don't think this was Indianola's strongest performance I've seen from them, so I think there's a good shot that Pella could break that top three as well. What do you think, Kortney?
I think Waukees is definitely a favorite to win here. I think they have a great set this year, great show, um, set design, what have you. All of it is just kind of first place material at this competition with this lineup. I do think that we will see momentum in that second place spot. Cedar Rapids is a very strong group. And then in third, I'm going to go Norwalk, Sound Revolution in here. I think that they have a chance after watching their little bit of their set earlier. Um, I do see Indianola. For me, it's really close in between Indianola and Norwalk. I will say that. But I think those two are my favorites for third place here.
Sure. Dylan.
Let's see. In one, Waukee, I think, like you
Yep.
said, their sets are just their set this year is just incredible. I think it's a cut above the rest here. I think
Yeah.
they'll be a good first place here. In second, I'm gonna go with let's go Cedar Rapids, Washington. I think they're in second place as of prelims. They're in second, and I think they're gonna keep that. I thought their performance was pretty solid today, and I do think if they can keep that up in finals, I think they'll get that second spot. And in third, I'm gonna go. Let's go Pella. I think, yeah, I'm gonna go Pella. They have incredible vocals year in year out. I remember a couple years ago they beat Wheaton South and Waconia in vocals, which that's not something you just do as a tier two
No, of
group.
course.
Uh,
Yeah.
they were a tier two group at the time. Now they're a tier one group, but yeah, I think they can. I think Yeah, I think they're gonna get third. I think they're gonna get third here.
All right. It is, Kortney, to your credit. Um, in the prep division, Norwalk's prep group actually did take down Indianola's prep group. Something to keep our eyes on for sure. We have actually a question from the chat, and I'll put it up on the screen. Favorite Southwest Missouri choirs? Do you prefer Webb City or Joplin? Cordy, I'm going to give this to you. You're closest regionally. Um, do you have any thoughts on this?
Not really. Southwest Missouri isn't my, I don't want to say
Sure.
specialty, but I'm not as, don't have as much knowledge on it as I would. But I do know the Joplin Touch class is a super strong group, and so is Southwest Missouri. Sooner State, you are more than welcome to help me out here because I'm just,
Yeah, Sooner State, go ahead.
I
Take
was
a stab
like,
at it in the chat.
Ellie is closer, and Ellie is, closer to that region than me. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's just so
All
many
right.
there that I wish I knew of.
Sooner State Show Choir will invite you on for a quick little ramble. Um, and yeah, we'll move on with the show from there. Let's see where you are. Special guest time.
Yes.
All
Hello.
right. Could we repeat the question just one more time? Because I need to hear all this.
Yeah, so the question was, Ellie, favorite Southwest Missouri choirs, do you prefer Webb City Bella Voce or Joplin Touch of Class? Two
Okay, so
questions.
I go to Joplin as a competition every year, and I
Yep.
gotta say, Bella Voce has my heart. They're one of my favorite women's groups in the nation, that in the region really. It's hard to compete against the Fishers and all that, but Bella Voce would take the cake on that one. When it comes to that region in general, I mean, I love Webb City so much. I just do. I'm very excited to see their show, what they have this year. I mean, was that I remember, was it Willy Wonka? I can't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah,
I
Willy
saw
Wonka.
someone mention that they had a Wonka set this year.
Yes. So I'm going to be at Blue Valley as well, which is being mentioned in the comments, and I'm excited. I'm hoping I can catch them, all those groups. But yeah, I'll just answer that quick little question. So,
All right, thank you very much.
of course.
Yes. See you next time. All right. From there, let's check if Toma has come in yet. Looks like no. Do a
No.
quick refresh. What else? Cedar Rapids and Xavier has already come in. We already have Ben Buren. Okay. So we are waiting on Holman Gathering, Des Moines Christian, Sioux Falls Jefferson, and Toma. So we're waiting pretty much on our three comps of the week. As Maryville is already through. Okay. So we have a few questions in the chat. We're not going to give thoughts on individual groups, just because our knowledge a little bit kind of varies by region. If one of my co-hosts, if you see a group that you know a lot about and you want to say something, but in general, we're not going to be answering questions just about individual groups. What comps are you guys covering next weekend? I'll put that up. So we will be covering every single competition. We will discuss all, I believe, 17 competition results. We will be focusing on the homeroom show choir comps of the week. I don't believe they've been picked out yet, or at least not publicly. But it's normally 4 comps of the week and a wild card, if I'm not mistaken. And so we will. I'm sure Lynn Mar will be one of them. Blue Valley will be another. And then from there, it's kind of anyone's guess what comps that we'll be like really focusing on, really honing in on. Um, But we will be addressing every single competition, all billion of them, every single week here from 9 to 12 Central. Okay. Are we going to be at Jenks? Any of you going to be at Jenks? Probably, I imagine Ellie might. You will be there? Okay.
Most likely, yes. That's my out of state comp.
Shout out Jenks.
Shout out Jinx.
Um, one of my good show choir acquaintances over here in California, Dominic Matas, longtime Burroughs choreographer and once a choreographer at my alma mater and the school I currently work for. He also choreographs over at Jenks, and he taught Jenks choreography from one of our Diamond Bars pieces a few years ago, and that was really really cool. Um, yeah, so we will be covering Blue Valley and Beaver Creek next week for sure. You can expect articles as well, most likely.
I think I'm going to be at Cowtown, most likely. I haven't figured it out yet, but I do think I will be at Cowtown.
Okay, and with that, we've covered all questions in the chat, so we can move on to another fun topic. Let's take a look at the cancellation of the UNL competition that was supposed to be this week, but it was unfortunately canceled. Who would like to take the lead on that one?
I can talk about it for a second.
Sure.
So, I mean, first off, it always sucks to see a competition get canceled. That's never going to be something that doesn't suck.
Yeah,
And yeah, UNL is a comp that has definitely been trying to get back on its feet in the last couple of years. So it definitely stings more to see it canceled this year. I know, I don't remember all who was slated to go. I think Waukee was slated to go earlier before they ended up moving to Des Moines Christian, and which
yeah,
would have been their first out of state appearance in forever, I feel like. But yeah, and then the only other one I remember was Norris, I think, was slated to go. I think they're at the Omaha Bryan Clinic in place of that. So yeah, UNL's always been in the years that it did happen, it's always been a great comp. It's always been great. I know Lincoln Southwest, Lincoln East used to frequent that one. I know Johnston went one year. I think Wheaton Warrenville went a couple years back. So that's always been a great comp, and it does suck to see it canceled for sure.
yeah, definitely. Courtney, any thoughts?
Same as you guys. I mean, it definitely sucks to see it canceled. It's something that you look forward to every year. It's one of the best, I don't want to say best show choirs because I mean it's a higher ed show choir, but it's always a pleasure to see Big Red Singers.
Yeah,
So it kind of just sucks that got canceled, but you have to do what's best for you and what's best for your group and your school.
definitely. I will say, again, I don't know the details of why it was canceled. I assume it was for a good reason, maybe low attendance, maybe tech issues, maybe this, that, or the other thing. But it's never good, in my opinion, when a competition gets canceled, obviously, but especially a competition hosted by a university. That really sucks. The university and community college show choir circuits are so small. I only know of two community college show choirs and two university show choirs in the whole country. And it would be good for the sport, of course, for more universities to get more involved. And this is definitely trending in the wrong direction, and that's really sucks. Um, so to move on, Waukee Northwest has actually just torn down their setup. So we are running two full groups behind at Holman, it seems. So stay tuned towards the end of the show. That's when we'll probably be getting a lot of these results in, because it seems like the three bigger competitions left over still have quite a bit of time before they wrap. Let's see what's going on at Jefferson.
Do we know where we're at Toma?
If we're running on time, lacrosse should have went an hour ago. We're almost there if we're on time because I remember it was the last finalist, which is lacrosse, and then
Mm-hmm.
Toma limited edition, and then awards after that.
Perfect.
Okay,
So we
we have.
should. Oops,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're totally good.
Oh no, I was just gonna
Um,
say we're almost there. Sorry.
yeah, we're almost there. You could expect a lot of results coming in towards the end of the show, and we will be again wrapping in about in like 2 hours or so.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have a lot of live results to talk about very, very shortly. But for now, we have a couple more interesting topics to talk about, and then we'll go to the chat for some more questions. I see them there, I promise, but there's a lot of them. And just a reminder to people in the chat, we're not going to be giving our thoughts on individual groups and individual schools just because we may not know enough about them to do that. Um, so on and so forth. Belivoship versus Belivoship. Yeah. Okay. My next question for you two is, who will be number one in the homeroom show choir formula rankings next year? This is a big question, and it's not always who you think the best choir in the world will be. It's who's going to rack up those wins, who's going to fill out that formula the best. What do you think, Kortney?
Part of me wants to say Linmar, but I also feel like that's something that is kind of a given in a way. And like you said, it's not who you think is going to be at the top. It's what comes down to the formula.
Yeah.
Um, I might stay with Linmar. I mean, I feel like they are obviously a super strong group going into this season. The past few seasons, like I've said earlier, they're amazing at what they do and putting a story on stage. So we're going to go with it.
Sure. Who was Dylan? You might remember who was the winner of this year's homeroom show choir formula rankings. Do you remember?
I think Linmar.
It was
I think it
Linmar.
was. Yeah.
So who will you go with for this season?
Um, I think I got two groups who I think could do it. That's Linmar and Center Grove.
Yeah.
Linmar, I mean, they did it last year. I think they did it the year before.
Yeah.
And knowing them, they probably did it the year before as well. But I think they just, I mean, they swept every comp since the War of 1812, it feels like. And then, um, and,
Crazy pull.
and the, but I'm also Center Grove. They've gone undefeated the past two seasons. They actually don't face either Carmel or Franklin Central at all this season.
Yeah.
And I don't think they face Zionsville either, so I think they're primed to pretty much sweep all their competitions except maybe Show Choir Nationals, where they'll face a very strong Homewood.
Hmm.
So I think if Center Grove can take advantage and sweep all of their comps, I think they could definitely snag that number one from Linmar.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with Center Grove too. As Nathan from Circle City Show Choir and Homeroom Show Choir said in the comments, Linmar's only competing in state, so their difficulty multiplier will be a little bit less. Um, I think that Center Grove, the win if you to win the formula rankings, you pretty much have to be undefeated. It that seems to be kind of a requirement. Um, to get first place anyways. And I think Center Grove has the best chance of doing that, and they will be going out of state and they will be competing against top level groups that I do think that they're just a little bit better than them and that they will get the edge over um, each time. I love the California Big Three, and I think that they're some of the best in the country, but it's such a bloodbath over there. They're facing each other every single week. Imagine if Linmar had to face against Johnston four times. Even the strongest Linmar season, you drop a caption, you drop a placement to Johnston. Like, no one's, like, it happens, but you won't be on top of the formula rankings because of that. So that's why I think I'm going to go with Center Grove as well. And with that, let's go to some of the comments. Let's check out this one from Dane Snyder. What Ohio comps are you most excited to watch? How about Dylan? Let's go to you first.
Um, let's go. I think definitely Beaver Creek next week. That's always a big starter competition for Ohio. That it's usually the one that sets the tone for how the Ohio season is going to go. So that's always one. If you're an Ohio Show Choir fan, if you're an Ohio Show Choir analyst, you have your eyes on Beaver Creek. You have your eyes glued to that competition. If you're in Ohio, and then Loveland's another great one. I know Marysville's there. Daniel Hand's coming all the way from Connecticut, and then we also got a Fairfield who's on the up last season. That'll be definitely a great one to watch. And then another one is Olentangy because we're going to see Center Grove versus Marysville. And it may seem like on paper Center Grove's the immediate favorite to win there, but don't forget Marysville actually took the choreography captain off Center Grove last season. So I'm definitely interested to see if they can do that a second time. Because if they can do that, if Marysville can take the choreo captain off Center Grove a second time, we may have to put them in top 10 groups in the nation visually. Because that's not something you just do. That's major for
I
them.
would also love to say that Marysville also took the choreography, obviously not the caption per se, but they did beat Burbank NSYNC in choreography, one of the strongest Burbank NSYNC shows choreographically in a while. So they are the real deal for sure. Kortney, what do you think? What Ohio comps are you excited for?
Yeah, I would definitely say Beaver Creek. I feel like that's definitely going to be a huge thing between Pequa, Noblesville, Sloan, Hurricane. You have basically a fight to the death for that one for first, second, and third. Olentangy always. You got the Keynote Classic coming up, and then I will say Marysville as well for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm gonna say Beaver Creek again. Um, I think it's such a stacked competition so early on
Mm-hmm.
with groups from all over the place. That's where I'm gonna go with it. Also big shout out for Marysville and Solon, both pretty stacked lineups there. And there is one interesting thing looming over the Marysville comp date of March 14th is that their Burbank NSYNC is expected to take a trip on that weekend, and one of the rumored possible locations is Marysville. And if Burbank does pull up there, that will be very anticipated for sure. Okay, let's move on. Let's take another question from the chat. Can we talk about some Nebraska comps? Let's see what's on the menu for next week. We have Gretna, Burke, Ralston, Blair, Lincoln Links. Oh my gosh, there's six. There are six Nebraska comps next week. So, okay,
Yeah.
Wesley, I'll tell you this. We will go over Nebraska comps, so we're going to spend a lot of time on that next week. So let's actually go back and focus a little bit on Wisconsin competitions, which are a little bit more prevalent this week. And let's give our opinions on who we think the top three groups in Wisconsin will be. Starting with Kortney, what do you think?
Comp wise, or are we doing group wise first?
Group wise.
Group wise, okay.
Yes, yes.
Not my specialty, I will say that, but let me pull up the list. Because obviously I've heard some, and then I'm like, others, I have no idea what they are.
Oh yeah, and there's 1,000 groups
There
in
really
Wisconsin
is.
too.
Um, so as someone who has no idea about Wisconsin show choir, let's just go, obviously on Alaska. That's someone who is super strong. You've heard about them kind of a lot during this show for sure, but you'll hear about them more in the future. I feel like Toma coming off of their hosting week, you will have pretty high expectations there. They are coming off of, let's look at their last season. I know it was good. You're coming off of multiple like mid-place finishes, and I think that kind of gives them the heat, I guess, to push forward this next year. And then we're gonna go. Let's see. I saw another name that I recognized. Um, let's go. I don't know where it went. It disappeared. I feel like any of the lacrosse schools have to be good because you hear that name a lot.
Sure, sure. Okay.
That's it.
Let's take it to Dylan. What do we think?
Um, I think the big three in Wisconsin this year. Let's go on Alaska. That's they're perennially the best show choir in Wisconsin, and I'll say on Alaska will be number one. However, I do think their throne is pretty vulnerable this year. I think they're number one here at the beginning of the year, but at the end of the year, we may not be saying that. Because I think at number two, I'm going to go with lacrosse. Lacrosse River
Yeah.
City Revolution, they can sing. They can sing. Like that ballad, oof. Like that's a ballad that can that's a ballad that can win you that's a ballad that can win you circuits. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And their dancing is also pretty cool. What's it? Lexi and Braxton Carr. I know do them. There might be one more, but yeah, they have some great dancing. They do a story show similar to like Lynn Maher or who you'd see in Iowa. There isn't a costume change, I believe. So if that's not your forte, you might you might not like them as much. But I think they've got what it takes because I remember they had a great season last year. They beat Troy Buchanan, which
Yeah.
that's not a choir. That's a great choir. So. Yeah, that's definitely something. They're definitely one to look out for, I'd say. And then in third, I'm gonna go Sparta. I think that's a choir that's been continuously on the up. Really, I think they're maybe visually the best group in Wisconsin. I know they snagged that caption from Onalaska a couple times last year, and I know Kevin Chase does fantastic work with them. They're such high energy. I remember I said this earlier. There's such high energy. I know I'm gonna have the privilege of seeing them live when they come to El Paso's comp later this season. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what they have this year. I think they can really make some noise.
Yeah. Great points. So for my number one pick, I'm going to also go on Alaska. On Alaska is performing live right now at Holman Gathering. And I think they've done it for so long. They're so consistent. They're very good. They're really one of the few Wisconsin choirs that seems to be able to truly hold their own against out-of-state competition consistently year after year. So I'm gonna go with them at the one, and I'm gonna follow you all the way, actually, Dylan. I'm going to go Lacrosse River City Revolution at the two. I loved their show last year. I thought it was a great debut from them, kind of debut. They're a combination of two choirs, right? Logan and what was the other one? Um, Sorry, I don't know off the top of my head. Um, but I thought it was a great debut show from them, and I could see them easily taking this second spot in Wisconsin. And my third favorite Wisconsin group will be Sparta as well. Loved their show this year. I thought it was a lot of fun. Um, and so that's where I'll go. All right, let's take a look at the chat really quick. What are your thoughts about Ada? That's a great question. We can take a look at Ada. Ada was an Ohio competition that took place earlier on in the season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
November 8th.
on November 8th. It's one of those random early competitions. That's all the way in like November, October, December. Um, who would like to take this first?
I think I can.
Sure.
So so I think with these results, it's always important to keep in mind this is in November. A lot can change in a show in 2 months. So
Yeah.
I think the biggest. So looking at the top five, death taxes, Grove City wins Ada.
Yeah.
Number two, um, but I think Alliance Jet Setters and Kenton top 20. That's a good That's a good good foot in the door for them. I think that could really say that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this season. And then
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that shocked a lot of people was South Dearborn not making finals. And I think they have a director change this year. Either last year or this year they had one. I'm not entirely sure, but I know they had some kind of change recently. So, and going out in November with a director change, that's always gonna be rough.
Yeah,
There's definitely going to be some changes, some growing pains. So I will just say it's a November comp. A lot of these shows aren't even finished yet. So I'll just say don't count out South Dearborn yet. Don't count them out yet. They can still make some noise, I feel.
definitely. Kortney, what have you got?
Yeah, for being so early in the season, kind of like Dylan was saying, it's your groups are still working on their sets. They're kind of figuring out what works best and what doesn't. South Dearborn not making finals, as Dylan was saying, that is kind of insane for them. I think they will come back and kind of shock some people. I think that their competitors might think lowly of them after seeing this placement, but they're gonna be shocking some people. Touch of Class, you have taking best vocals, best choreo, best band, and best show concept. I saw this coming from a mile away. Grove City is a great Ohio, or a great, I don't know why I said Ohio, but you know what I mean. It's a great show choir, and I think that they will continue to have some grand championships this season. And then Alliance, having the best soloist, first runner-up. Kenton, top 20, having best crew, and then prominent rendition having best costumes. It really shows how those captions can split literally whenever. And yeah, I think it was a good competition, and it'll pave the way for a great season.
Yeah, I definitely think that for Ada this year, or I guess it was last year, but this season, um, the story to me is Alliance Jet Setters coming up with a second place finish after not making finals the previous year. And then also South Dearborn taking home that second place spot at Ada the previous year and then not making finals this year. Things can flip um things can flip on such a dime, especially on November 8th, as you might imagine. But another great result for the choreographer duo of Stefan Macklin and Gabriella Mack, the same choreographers of Euclid who went on a run. So who knows? Alliance Jet Setters, maybe watch out. Maybe they could be coming for Ohio, or maybe not. Maybe it was just a November competition result. Who knows? But always fun to see um, what's going on there early season. Always fun to get some show choir then early.
Des
Uh,
Moines Christian results are out.
Oof.
let's take a look.
Take a look.
You guys were right. I'll give you that. That's all you get.
Whoa! Okay,
I don't
all
know
right.
what happened, but
Wow. Okay. Here we go. Our Des Moines Christian Illumination results are in, and the placements are as follows. First place, vocals, choreography, and band to Waukee Millennium. I think that was to be expected. In second place, we have Cedar Rapids, Washington High School Momentum. Again, pretty much as expected from there. In third place, Pella, acapella. Would you look at that? Third place. And bringing up fourth place is Indianola Side 1. In fifth is Norwalk Sound Revolution. In sixth is Dallas Center Grimes Momentum. And that is the order of the finalists at Des Moines Christian. Wow, who wants to take this one first?
Pella, thank you. You did me. Yeah, I mean,
you vindicated Dylan.
you vindicated me.
He made a hot take, and it wasn't
I
so
now have
hot
the
after all.
I now for this moment have the best takes on the. So yeah, Waukee, big big ol' big ol' big ol' sweep, big ol' best vocals, best choreography, best band. Great way to start off the season hot. Because if you remember last year, they actually dropped the choreo caption here last year to third place Indianola, and that
Yeah.
was definitely a big shock to a lot of people. So I think Waukee getting that sweep here this year, that's definitely good for them. Momentum, solid second, finishing ahead of a strong pack here, and that's another great way to start your season. Starting off hot. Acapella, that's big big moment here for Acapella, and then Indianola. I know this may be tough after like last season, but I know they had some big moments last season, so this may be tough for them, but they have a director change, they have a choreographer change. You can't always count on a choir placing their best their first time going out with a director and choreographer change. So I'm just saying, like South Dearborn earlier, do not count Indianola out yet. And then Norwalk and Dallas Center Grimes, big finals appearances for them. And yeah, definitely a good start for all these choirs here. Good start for all these choirs.
All right, Kortney, what do you think?
I don't want to talk about. I quit. This is my 2 week resignation.
No, we need you. It's week 1.
I'm done. Waukee, great win here, great sweep. We kind of all expected it. I feel like Millennium is going to have a pretty strong season. I think they are coming for blood. I keep saying that this year, or this tonight. But truthfully, I mean, yes, they got first at this competition last year, and then their scores from there out were just second place. I think this is going to be their first win of many this season, and they deserve it. I mean, they're the ones that put on the show. The lighting was crazy. I don't know if you guys got to watch it, but they had like little lights and stuff that was super. It adds to the show. And
Yeah.
then, second, I guess, is Momentum, which I feel like we all expected as well. Congrats, Dylan, for Pella coming in third. Indianola kind of was a toss-up, and then my poor Norwalk that I believed in so much, my little, my shot in the dark there. So, but yeah, I feel like it kind of planned out how we all kind of expected, and Waukee obviously came back.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty big for Pella. That's a great result to start off with. That's the story to me. Obviously, Walking Millennium's awesome, and I think they're going to be a top group in Iowa and in the nation um, this year. But I will say something interesting is that Indianola in the prelims actually did beat Pella, and Pella flipped that result going into finals. That's huge. Um, that's electric. That's why we love show choir competition so much. The flip from prelims to finals, um, always so entertaining to see. Really, really happy about those results. Yeah, Des Moines Christian. Let's close that book for now. So we are left with just 3 more competitions tonight. I am watching Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavalier Classic right now, and I have Sioux Falls Washington is on stage right now. Um, they are about an hour and a half-ish behind, it seems. Um, if I'm not mistaken, my math could be totally wrong. Um, but they're about a full group behind, I'll say that. I know that for sure. And so we should be getting results from that probably around 11 p.m. Central Time or 9 p.m. my time, if not a little bit later. And then Holman Gathering, let's see where we are there. Holman Gathering looks to be, we're almost done with On Alaska. Um, so they are about a half an hour behind over there, it seems. So we should be getting those results maybe around um, maybe probably around the same time, 11:30. And so we'll discuss those as they come. But for now, let's take a look at some more questions from our chat.
I did want to. You pinned a comment while Dylan was talking earlier about Keller Blue Lights' director.
Sure.
I wanted you guys' opinion on that as well. So I don't know if you could find it and maybe pin it. That way people will know, or if I can see it.
So I didn't actually mean
Yeah.
to pin it right then, so I accidentally deleted it. But if that
Sure.
person would like to comment that again, I think it was Show Choirs of Keller. So if
Yes.
you're still here, go ahead and send us that question in again, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'll just address this. We are not going to be predicting finalists for competitions next week because we will be doing this show every week. And Blue Valley will definitely be one that we will be talking about then. So we're going to save that actually for next week's show. At the same time, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Central time. Yes, 9 p.m. Central time. Um, so we will be addressing Blue Valley and all that comes with that next week. Um, we did pick winners for some other competitions. Um, but I think picking the winner for Blue Valley would be maybe a little bit of an easy question, just due to the nature of Johnston is there. So we'll save our finalist predictions for next week. Did we get that question in again? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay.
Perfect. All right. So, Show Choirs of Color asks prediction on rankings throughout the Texas Show Choir season and the predictions on how Keller Blue Lights is going to do as they lose their director mid-year. All right. So, for people that don't know me or what I have, I run the Show Choirs of Texas Instagram account, and I do my own Texas rankings throughout the season and preseason. As of right now, the rankings are, I think they're reposted to the start of the season. If not, the end of the last season's rankings are posted. Um, I feel like rankings will of course, move throughout the year, um, as they normally do. But as of right now, I think the rankings are the same until we have our first in-state competition, which will be Cowtown in February. As for Keller, that's kind of what I want you guys' opinion on. Keller Blue Lights is ranked #1 in Texas, and they have been for a little while. And then their director, Zach Steele, actually left, I believe, at Christmas break to become a Navy seaman. So I guess, what are your thoughts on how this ensemble will do without their leader of the past 6 years?
Um, I will say that in general, again, Texas is a little bit of a smaller region, although it is growing very, very quickly. Um, it sucks when your top group loses your director, especially in the early stages of a circuit, um, of the best group in that circuit, or one of the best groups in that circuit. But in general, as director changes happen, the kids are still there, the talent's still there, the program is still built there. Whoever will take the helm of that program will do them right. Um, if they will be without a director for a portion of the season, is that seeming like, or do they have a,
Their assistant director, Aaron Schmidt, the director of Lumina, is taking over.
yeah. So that kind of like exchange of power kind of mid-ish season, that's really tough. Los Alamitos struggled with that a little bit last year as they, midway through their competition season was kind of when the director um, of sound effects started to change hands, and in my opinion, they were a little bit weaker than they typically are, and I attribute it to that. So you could maybe see a little bit of that going on, but they're going to be great long term. Um, the great news about having an assistant director is that they know the system, they know what works, they know what doesn't. The kids aren't going to be as up in arms about it, about their new director. You know how sometimes high school students can get very, you're not him, blah blah blah
Mhm.
blah blah. Those problems, sorry, tend to be um, a little bit more quelled, I would say, when you have an exchange from a director to an assistant director because it's a familiar face. So I think long term they'll be okay. This season it's going to be tough to have had your director switched halfway through. And um, as Nathan said, Broken Arrow, Jenks, Fossil Ridge is a tough schedule, but I expect long term that they'll be able to survive just fine. Dylan, any thoughts?
Basically the same as you, Chris. Just also best of luck to the assistant director there. Definitely a very tall task to do that, but I think long term that I think this group will be fine. This group's a proven quantity there. I think this group's been through it. They're battle tested. I think they can still.
Yeah,
Yeah, personally, I mean, I know that Blue Lights has already got their set. They've already got their choreography. Um, they're pretty much already starting their, vocal practices. And they did that under Zach Steele. I truly believe that if we were to see a shift in the level that Blue Lights is putting out, it would not be this season, it would be the next season. Because then you're fully directed by either Aaron or a whole new director that comes into the feeder pattern. Um, like Nathan and Circle City Show Choir mentioned, you're going up against Broken Arrow, you're going up against Pantheon, you're going up against Jenks. It's gonna be a hard schedule no matter who the director is. Um, I feel like in state, their biggest competition this year is going to be Pantheon or the under new direction Voices of Central, who has the opportunity for a huge comeback year this year. But overall, I think Blue Lights will be fine this season.
yeah. All right. I am taking a look at the Sioux Falls Jefferson broadcast right now, and I have got to say, Sioux Falls, Washington is killing it right now. Their choreography looks great. Again, that competition is running probably about an hour behind, so we won't be getting those results till later. So stick with us. We had a
Toma's in.
question. Oh, Toma is in.
It just popped up.
Real quick, we had a question in the chat from Teddy Neesmith. He asked, let me find it. Will we be addressing Glenwood Gala next week? The answer is yes. We will be going over every single competition results, and I'm sure my co-hosts are tired of hearing it, but we will be addressing every competition result next week. Glenwood Gala probably won't end up being a comp of the week, so we won't spend a whole lot of time doing it, but we will definitely be talking about it to some degree. Toma results are in. Whoa. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. All right. Okay. In first place at Toma Cranberry Jamboree in Toma, Wisconsin, we have lacrosse, River City Revolution, vocals, choreography, first place. That bodes well for our Wisconsin predictions that we had earlier on of lacrosse perhaps being the second or third best group in Wisconsin. In second place, El Paso Gridley Modulations. Not a huge surprise there. I think those were the two groups that people were expecting to be the top two. I would have thought El Paso Gridley would be the favorite there, but it appears lacrosse did get the small upset done. And then we have New London coming in at third. Great placement for them. And then fourth, El Paso Gridley High Fidelity. Wow. What a strange day for El Paso Gridley. Just one group separating their advanced mixed group and their prep division group. And then in fifth place, fourth runner-up, we have Western Dubuque, Fifth Avenue. And in sixth place, we have Eau Claire, Northern Airs. Dylan, you take this one first.
So I'm gonna spend most of this talking about El Paso Gridley because they're my alma mater.
Yes.
I think two. I think so. First of all, Hi-Fi, great start. What a great start for Hi-Fi.
That's
I
big.
know they made finals here last year, but I think this year was a bit of a taller task to make finals. But making finals, let alone jumping two mixed groups in finals, big.
Yeah.
That's a big start for them, and that bodes very well for them going into the future. And then mods, definitely a tough outing for them. Definitely a tough outing. I know that's gonna sting always. To getting swept always stings. But I will.
Hmm.
Here's what else. This is both my thoughts and I guess sort of a message to them, if any of them are watching. Um, I think this isn't the first time they've had a tough result in their first competition. I know I was there for one of those. I was there for two of them actually. I remember a couple years ago we got fourth at Des Moines Christian. That was definitely a stinger right there. And also another year, our 2022 year, we got a close second to Monona Grove, and that was another very sting. That was another stinger right there as well. And
Yeah.
but the thing is, I think both of those years, we've turned a corner and had two of our best seasons. So I think my thoughts for this, for mods, how do you respond to this? How do you respond? Because you still have the opportunity to turn a corner here, and I think that's my question. Are you going to take that opportunity to turn a corner? I think, yeah,
Okay.
season's far from over. You still don't, yeah, just don't, you're, don't give up yet. You still got. And then also lacrosse, huge congratulations to them. This is a huge win for their program. Um,
Yeah.
I think just beating a tough out-of-state choir like El Paso, who's done a lot of damage in Wisconsin in the past few years, I think that's a big win for them. Big win stepping up. I know they have some very tough competitions coming up. I know they go to Onalaska where they face Bloomington Kennedy, and then they go to Ankeny Centennial. If they can make some noise at Ankeny Centennial, I know that comp has some. That's a very stacked comp in Iowa. If they can make some noise there, just watch out. They might take that throne from Onalaska if they make noise there. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on this competition for sure.
All right, Courtney, do you have any thoughts on Toma Cranberry Jamboree 2026?
Huge win for lacrosse here. I mean, River City, I don't think they had a single grand championship last year. They might have had one, if I remember correctly.
They
But
had one grand championship at Milton, and they had one at Medford as well.
okay, still a little bit lower competition at those competitions, if that makes any sense. But lacrosse, it's a great start to their season, and I think it'll obviously propel them forward this year. I did have mods coming in first, though. El Paso Gridley is a strong out of state choir for them, um, a great choir in general, and I had mods over lacrosse. And then yeah, hi-fi in fourth is obviously an insane jump for them, and I'm excited to see how that pushes them this season.
Definitely. Um, the story to me is not lacrosse winning or El Paso Gridley, but where the best choreography caption fell. I know El Paso Gridley as in a borderline unbeatable choreographical group. They won best choreo at every single competition they went to last year, except for Wheaton Warrenville South, which they made finals against one of the most, at one of the most stacked competitions of the year over my alma mater. So sad. Um, but they are just a choreography powerhouse, and to see that caption go to lacrosse is big. And I think it says more about lacrosse than it does El Paso Gridley. El Paso Gridley has been so consistent as choreography. I really doubt they've took a big step down. This has me excited for the step up that it seems lacrosse might have taken. And they had some really big wins over great groups, especially at Milton, um, where they took down the likes of Troy Buchanan, Glenwood, to name a few. Um, but to get a win that early in the season and to take the best choreography off of, I mean, maybe a top 20 choreography group in the nation, if not higher, excuse me, that is a big, big deal. So really big congrats to them. Um, it's always a huge test when an out-of-state group comes to Wisconsin. Wisconsin has been kind of a battleground for groups from Illinois, from Iowa, from Minnesota, and all that. And normally those groups come in and dominate. And to see La Crosse hold it down in their home territory, that's also big for the circuit over there as well. And then again, the other story you guys have mentioned before, El Paso Gridley High Fidelity, Hi-Fi, that's big. Beating 2 mixed choirs, making finals, great way to start the season. I'm not worried about El Paso Gridley. I think that they're a fantastic choir. I saw them live at Wheaton last year. I thought they were great. I thought their choreography was some of the best of the night and some of my favorite of the night. If I was scoring, I would have had them 3rd or 4th in choreography against the likes of West Side, Mitchell, and Troy Buchanan and all that. I think they're a fantastic choreographical group, and I think that Mods will be able to go on a bit of a run after this. Like Dylan said, just take it on the chin, go next. This is a tough one, but big congrats to La Crosse.
Yeah.
Huge for them, huge for the program, huge for Wisconsin. And yeah, that's all I got on that one.
Yeah. I do want to add one thing. I know El Paso, in a couple of weeks, they face Onalaska in a couple of weeks, who are in another top 3 group. So
Oh,
I know that's
yes.
definitely daunting. That's a daunting group to face. But I mean, if you want to get your get back against the state of Wisconsin, there's
Oh,
your
yeah.
opportunity. There's your opportunity. That's all I'll say on that.
Speaking of the state of Wisconsin. Oh! Okay. We're not a sports channel, but poor Wisconsin. The Green Bay Packers
Yes, sir.
have led up 25 points in the 4th quarter to the Bears to choke the game. That's ridiculous.
Yes, sir.
We're not sports. We're moving on, but that's crazy. That's not what I was expecting to see on my computer screen. And with that, all the NFL games are done for the day. And we have 2 show choir competitions remaining. We have Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavalier Classic and Holman Gathering 2026. Coming down to the wire here, we have our 5th finalist at Holman, Sauk Prairie Executive Session, on stage right now. They've been going for a few minutes at least. And then over at Jefferson, we have...
I believe they are in deliberation right now because it is just playing ads on my end.
They should, if I'm not mistaken, have Ankeny Centennial still left to go. I think the ad is just like what they do in between the groups. I believe
Maybe.
Centennial is still to go. I could be
Okay.
mistaken.
Okay.
So we're down to 1-ish group left at each competition. We've got an hour and a half left of the show. We're about halfway through. Yeah, Da Bears.
Da Bears.
Da Bears.
Da
Da
Bears.
Bears.
Yeah, thoughts on Caleb Williams, guys? Just kidding. Okay, we will move on to some more questions from the chat. We'll start with this one right here, and I'll send it over to the star of the show, Kortney. What Texas comps do you think will be competitive this year?
I definitely think Southlake. It's a newer competition in the region. It's bringing in groups such as Broken Arrow. I don't think Jinx is going this year. But let me look and see if the lineup is posted anywhere.
What day is that? Do you know?
Here, I'll tell you. We have Southlake Carroll Showdown on March 6th and 7th.
Sorry, say it again. What days?
March 6th and March 7th.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, crap. I fell into the trap there.
Wait, where is it? Southlake? Okay, here we are.
Southlake Carroll Showdown.
Yeah.
And then it is looking, Jinx will be at Cowtown. Tay, yeah, we're just not gonna, okay, I fell into it.
I'm so sorry.
No, we're gonna blame whoever plans the Carol Showdown on the 6th and the other day.
Yeah.
We're gonna blame that. And then I do think that Lone Star this year will get kind of competitive. You have more groups returning to it. And then obviously, Cowtown with Jenks coming down. Jenks has never competed at Cowtown, so that'll be new and a better competition.
Awesome. All right, we will move on to another chat question I saw. We have, what are your top 3 most underrated show choirs in the nation? Dylan, how about you start us off?
Top 3 most underrated show choirs in the nation.
That's prompts.
Let's see. I think one of them, Troy Buchanan Express. I think they're a very strong choir. They get a lot of results, but I still feel like they somewhat get underlooked on the national scale. And I think, and I know they've definitely gotten under some new direction recently. I know longtime veteran director Andrew Drinkle stepped down recently, and his assistant took over. And I thought, and yeah, I think their choreography is amazing. Stephen Todd just does a great job with them. I love their energy. I love their electric guitar, like on their combo. They always do electric guitar on like the opener. It just hits every time without fail. And yeah, they always just bring incredible energy. And I think they're just a choir to watch out for in the future still. I don't like, I'm just saying if you see Troy if you say Troy Buchanan at your competition, look out. That's what
Run.
I'll say for them. And then another underrated show choir. I'll go I'm trying to think. Let's go. Um, I'm so sorry. I can't think. Let's go. Hmm, North Central. I'm gonna say this because I feel like they may be. Obviously, North Central's a big name. They're not underrated in that aspect, but I
Mhm.
do think they might be a little underrated going into this season because they had a director change season last year, and that's always a learning curve, both for the students and the new director. So maybe they didn't get the results they were looking for at some comps, but I think now that their director's settled in, look out. I think look out for them because I think if I think they're in contention to be podium at Show Choir Nationals. I do. I would not be shocked. I know that's going to be a steaming hot take. Their steaming hot take, but yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they can do their best. And I think they go up against Oak Mountain. I think at some point, Center Grove. I think
Yeah.
at Center Grove, that's a litmus test for them for sure. If they can make noise against Oak Mountain, or especially noise against like the big indie choirs, look out for them for podium at nationals. I think they're up there. And
Wow.
then my third choir, give me Pedal Sensations, a choir that's still gotten some solid results. But I think with the rise of, your Brandon, your Oak Mountain, your Grenada, I think they've fallen under the radar in the Southern scene. And I watched them at Nationals last year. I'm not on the live stream for Nationals, not at Nationals,
Right.
but they were one of my favorite shows of the day. Like, like if I were judging like my like opinion, like maybe not technically, but like my opinion, I'd have them podium. Again, not
Yeah.
technically, that's like my opinion. That's just my opinion speaking, but I would have them
Yeah.
podium
Yeah.
because I just love their dancing. Like Lexi does such a great job. That's another way they fly under the radar. They're one of Lexi's more under the radar groups because I think many know her as an Iowa choreographer.
Mhm.
So but I think their choreography still holds up with the best in the South. And I know they go to Auburn this season where they face Homewood, Grenada, Oak Mountain. If they can make a top 2, top 3 finish there, that's big for them. I think they have a very big opportunity to turn some heads there at Auburn, and I think they're going to take that. I think they're going to take that. That's
All right.
where I'll
Those are
leave
your
off.
3.
My 3.
Let's hear Kortney. 3 underrated choirs. And you can't say any from Texas. Just kidding.
I can't say any from
No, I'm
Texas.
kidding. I'm kidding.
What? That's illegal. Okay. My first one's gonna be a hot take, but I had never heard of them in Texas. So like the Texas scene is very Texas forward. We don't really explore. I think within the past 2 or 3 years is when our groups have just started going out of state. So I will say Mitchell Friendeku. I know that they're a top choir for homeroom side of things for sure, but as of like Texas and kind of Southern, we don't really pay attention to the Midwest as much, which we should. But Mitchell Friendiku is watch their freaking 2023 show and you'll know why I'm in love. That's all I have to say there. Okay, next Pantheon. Pantheon is a newer group in Texas. They're out of Timber Creek. They absolutely killed it last season and they are on the up and up for sure. Let's pull up oh, not Timber Creek. What is it? I can't think. Fossil. They're from Fossil Ridge. My other one was gonna be Timber Creek. But they started I think in 2020 or 2021. You have a first, second, third placement and a fifth placement last season. They took their first ever grand championship and they swept. So best vocals, best choreography, people's choice, and best soloist. Absolutely killed it. I cannot wait. I know what their theme is this year and they're gonna absolutely slay it. Third, I do have a fourth, but third place for Texas again is going to be Southwest Effect out of Southwest High School. They are a consistent second place at almost every single competition besides one last year. I think that they deserve more hype. They are getting more popular, but I definitely think they're underrated on the national scale of things. And then my honorable mention has to be Hilltop Singers out of Missouri. Fell in love with them one year and have followed them since. They're Treble and now they're discontinued bass group, but they always bring it.
Sure. Okay. I'm gonna interrupt this question for a second because I don't think this can be possible. But on the Sioux Falls Jefferson live stream, it shows that there are 357 viewers.
I saw that.
That's insane. I hope that that's true. That's really great for show choir that 357 people are watching a live stream on January 10th. That's amazing. And yeah, so my three underrated show choirs, in no particular order. Number one is Carol Magic. I love Carol Magic. I have loved them since 2023, when they went to HOA NYC, and I thought that was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen relative to skill level. They really brought it on that competition. And their girls group actually ended up beating soundtracks, Los Alamitos soundtracks at HOA New York. So I love that program. I loved their show last year with the Tin Man. Just such a fantastic show. I love what they do. I love their designs. I think they have such an intense choreography. I love their costumes. And yeah, number two. This will be a little bit of a weird one because this group, how can this group be overrated? Because they literally, if I'm not mistaken, were second place at Show Choir Nationals last year. Let me get a check on that real quick. Or third, I think. Or was that 2024? Yeah, that was 2024 when they were second at Show Choir Nationals, and this is Granada. Granada is another very underrated group for me. They are kind of new to being as good as they are. 2024 was kind of their big breakout year, and I still feel like somehow after getting second place at Show Choir Nationals, being a Southern powerhouse, I feel like they still don't get enough national hype for just how good they are. In my opinion, they are a top 10 group choreographically, if not top 5. I think they put forth some of the best show designs I've ever seen. Their Truman Show last year was electric, so entertaining. Their Ugly Duckling set the year before was perfect from a show design standpoint. I'm a big show design guy. And I just think they're doing everything right over there. And I hope that they continue their success over there, and I hope that they gain some more notoriety in the South and especially nationwide. My third one is also going to be a bit of a weird one, but this is Burbank InSync. Burbank InSync has a California group, one of the California Big Three, and they've been very good for a very long time. But they have been kind of seen a little bit as like the third best choir in California for at least the last like 2 or 3 years. This year or last year, sorry, I think they were actually took the two spot for me. But Burbank InSync hasn't competed out of state for a little while, and I think people have a little kind of forgotten just how insane Burbank InSync is. Um, and I am so lucky to get to see the California Big Three every week. Um, and always have my opinions on which of the three goes where, but really it's a week by week thing over there, and they can and have beaten Los Al, and they can and have taken captions off Burrows, beaten Burrows even in the last few years, and I think that people, when Burbank steps out of their state again. They did last year, technically, they did go to Arizona, but they weren't. Um, Arizona's still kind of in our West Coast circuit a little bit, so they weren't seeing too many new people. But when they step out to the Midwest again, like it seems like they're doing this year, people should watch out. They will be a top 5 vocal group this year. They have great choreography. Um, and if they decide to go to a nationals in the next few years, if they decide to go to a Chesterton, a Wheaton South, one of those big competitions, watch out. They will outsing your favorite group, and you'll never see it coming. So those are my top 3. And with that, Ankeny Centennial Spectrum is on stage just starting their show
With the
at
lighthouse.
Sioux Falls Jefferson with the Lighthouse, a favorite theme over at Homeroom Show Choir. And yeah, so their set's approximately 18-ish minutes long, if I'm not mistaken, maybe closer to 15. So given that and maybe 20 minutes for deliberation, we should be seeing those results in maybe about 30 to 40 minutes. And over at Holman, we are still setting up for Nina. The competition thinks that they're going to be on, or the live stream says that they'll be on at 10:55. Doesn't look like they're quite set up yet, so maybe oh wait, or yeah. It doesn't look like they're quite set up yet, so hopefully they'll be getting going soon. So probably 30-45 minutes for the rest of our results. So a question I would like to bring to you guys is as follows. So we had an article recently come out on Homeroom Show Choir about the 500th grand champion in show choir history. I think the number currently is what is it 491 or 493? Does anyone remember?
It was 491 before today's competitions.
Okay, so let's were there any first-time winners this time? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So the number should still be 291. But it is expected that either this season or next season we could get that 500th grand champion. So what group that has never gotten first place at a competition before do you think will be the 500th group to win a competition? Well, we can start with Kortney here.
I just think it's such a toss up. I mean, there's really so many factors that go into having a not only a first place win, but to be the 500th. Um, so I don't have one that I like that sticks out because at the end of the day, it's not really something you can predict. You can kind of make guesses at, but you can't really, I don't know, you
Yeah,
can't necessarily, you'll never be right, I guess.
right. It's a very tough one to predict.
Mhm.
Um, how about what region do you think the new person or the new group, the 500th group, will come from? Maybe that's the better question.
Probably, yeah. I want to say New England slash Country Roads region because there's a lot of newer choirs popping up out there that have the chance to win
Right.
for the first time ever. Not only, you know, you have the middle schools, you have a lot of um, like trouble groups coming to light and stuff like that. So I definitely think Country Roads or New England.
Country Roads in New England. And just to address some people in the comments, it seems like we have some Des Moines Christian competitors in the chat today. Huge win for Waukee Millennium over there, and not entirely unexpected at that. But big win for them. I loved their show this year. The story for Des Moines Christian for us was Pella taking third place home and Indianola sliding to fourth. That was really big there. So we're super excited about those results, and we can't wait to see all of those groups next week. I can't wait to see Waukee Millennium versus Waukee Northwest versus Ankeny Centennial and versus just Ankeny. Um, I feel like those groups are all so close to each other, and that's really what I'm most excited to seeing. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, and Tay is right, and Nina is starting. I'm not sure exactly when and if they all face each other, but that's what I'm excited about for Waukee. And Dylan, to you, what region do you think the 500th uh, show choir to win a grand champion will come from?
Um, I got two, I think, that are like neck and neck for me. That's
Sure.
gonna be Western Iowa and what's the other one? Texas. I think those two, because that's Texas is a rising nation, no, rising
Program.
region. I am
Region? Yes.
I need to go to bed. Yeah, a rising region, but they're also like an ecstatic region. I feel like because I feel like there's been a lot of changing of the guards recently in Texas. Because I know Fossil Ridge, I remember Keller Central's used to dominate that region. They were like second to none, but
Yeah.
they've slipped a little bit. So I think we've just seen a lot of new talent, a lot of new a lot of new programs stepping up, taking those wins, and I think it's going to continue. I think we're going to see some Texas choirs that you maybe wouldn't expect to win. I think we're going to see them take some this year, and I think my other one, Southwestern Iowa, no, not actually, kind of, yeah. So Western Iowa, that's like your Sioux City East, that like around that region, your Council Bluffs. I think that's another one where I think we're seeing a lot of changing of the guard. I think that's a thriving small mix scene that I know a lot of people maybe aren't aware of, and I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see some action there. I think we're gonna see some action there this season, and so don't be surprised if you see some shocking results go down in that region.
Yeah, I have two reasons that stick out to me as well. And number one is Texas. Texas is tough because there's not that many competitions for the taking.
Correct.
Um, but with all the changings of the guards, as Dylan mentioned, I feel like there could be an interesting result, especially super early season.
Hmm.
Maybe at the first Texas comp of the year, someone could just win out of nowhere, or a Texas group could go, to Missouri or to Alabama or to, some other more southern states and take home a competition there. The other places I think could happen is Wisconsin and Nebraska, just because there are so many groups and so many competitions. As we talked about before, next week we'll be talking about all the competitions and all of their results as they come in live. And we will be addressing 6 different Nebraska competitions next week. 6. And the odds that all of those have a clear winner, I feel like are very low. I feel like we could get a really, really interesting result out of Nebraska and out of Wisconsin because there are just so many groups and so many competitions that don't always have a clear winner. So I would say those are the few places that I'm particularly taking a look at for a brand new grand champion. It's so hard to predict who it actually will be, but that's what I think. So let's go. We have Nina performing. They're about halfway through their show. And we have Spectrum also nearing the end of their show. So we should have results coming in probably the next half hour from the last 2 competitions and 2 of the bigger competitions of this week. But let's actually go to the chat. Chat, you feel free to use the question box right here at the bottom right and ask us anything. The only thing we won't do is we will not do individual, we won't talk about individual groups. If you say, what do you think about this group? What do you think about this group? We won't do that just because we may not know enough about that group to give a nuanced take about it. But yeah, ask away in the comments. We've had a lot of questions in the past, but I just have cleaned it out. So if you will ask a question, it will pop right up to the top. Choice. Most underrated South Dakota comp. Well, I gotta figure out what South Dakota comps there are. There can't be that many. Let's see. Let's consult the great spreadsheet. South Dakota. Okay, we have. So the competitions to pick from co-hosts are Sioux Falls Jefferson, which is going down right now as we speak. We have Sioux Falls Roosevelt on January 31st. We have Sioux Falls Washington on February 14th. Mitchell on the 21st. O'Gorman will have one on February 28th. Aberdeen on March 14th. And those are the South Dakota competitions. I can start. I will say that I have been really impressed with the quality at Sioux Falls Jefferson today. I think the Sioux Falls groups that are competing actually have really stood out to me. And I'm really excited to be learning a little bit more about South Dakota Choir. I am from California myself. That's a long ways from me, but I have loved what I've seen from the competition. You've got a great headliner of Enki Centennial's 3 groups. And yeah, I've loved what I've seen so far. I really liked what I saw from Sioux Falls, Washington. I really loved what I saw from Omaha South, even though they are not a South Dakota group. Still a great poll. So I'm really loving the Sioux Falls Jefferson competition. Who wants to take it from here?
I will. I think a competition that's underrated, but I don't think it's going to be underrated after this season, I think is Sioux Falls Roosevelt. I think this is a competition that's maybe flown under the radar a little, especially compared to the other 2 Sioux Falls comps, who I think have generally been like mainstay comps in South Dakota. I think this one's flown a little bit under the radar, but this year, it's not flying under the radar. It's just, they have just a massive lineup this year. It's just ridiculous. And the best part about it is all of the groups there There's not a clear winner. There's not a clear winner at all here. I think there's like 4 or 5 different groups. I'm looking at the spreadsheet right now, looking at our roster as of now. There's like 5 different groups I could see winning this. So that's going to be one to look out for. I think that's going to be a difficult one to analyze for sure.
You
Even
said
when we get
Aberdeen?
Aberdeen.
Wait,
Oh,
which comp did you say?
Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Sorry.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be a difficult one to analyze, difficult one to predict, and yeah, I can't wait to see how that one shakes out. I think that's going to be a big one for the circuit.
I agree with both of you here. I think the one today is obviously putting out um, a really good competition, and it's going to be, obviously fun to kind of see where everything falls. And then with Roosevelt, like Dylan said, there's multiple groups there that could win it, and it could go either way. So I think it'll end up being something that'll really be good for the region.
Yeah. Sioux Falls Roosevelt lineup as of now has just a billion groups going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Southwest Effect, all the way from Texas, Sioux
Woo!
Falls, Washington, Aberdeen Central, O'Gorman, Hastings Uncaged, just a ton of groups, and a really big like tier 2 section as well on Saturday. All right, let's take another question. Let's see what we've got. Elliot, what are y'all's predictions for Beaver Creek Classic this year? We will be doing predictions for Beaver Creek next week
Mm-hmm.
live at 9 p.m. Central Time. So we're gonna save that for next week. Um, Thoughts on the Brownsburg comp? We're not gonna give thoughts on Brownsburg again, just for the same reason as before. Like we'll get to that comp closer to when it happens. You can expect an article about that comp on its own on homeroomshowchoir.com. I'm sure someone will be covering it. Um, ooh, okay. Let's take a look at this one. Favorite costumes from last year, asks Tay. Who would like to take this one?
I will. Jinx
Yes.
Trojaneers. Trojaneers. Easy. I
Mm,
don't know if you guys saw it. It was an Alice Through the Looking Glass set. So their dresses had like mirrored crystals on it, and then the guys were in like green suits, and insane. You need to go see those costumes if you haven't yet.
I'm so interested, actually.
It's on this Instagram account. Should be a few pictures if little few scrolls back.
All right, I will check that out afterwards.
Yeah.
Dylan, costumes. What do you think?
Um, I got 2 picks here. Let's go Grenada Visions. Though it was those like static TV ones. That was like one of my favorite reveals into a new costume, and also just costume idea is just sick. And my other
Mm,
one is Wheaton North costume last year, specifically their second one. It was like all green suits and like the hats and then like the golden dresses, I think.
yeah, that
That's
was
one of those
great.
costumes where it's kind of a wild idea, but
Hmm.
it just works. It just works so well. And those costumes were really good for sure.
Yeah, I think my favorites from last year, I first of all, big shout out to Heart Sound Vibrations, one of our tier 2 groups here in California. They consistently, year after year after year after year, have some of the best costumes anywhere, bar none. Definitely check them out if you haven't, as far as costumes go. I think my favorite from last year, though, was Los Alamitos. Um, it's such an easy, basic pick, and I'm kind of mad at myself for it. But the gray suits, with the gray shorts and long socks, it just totally fit the vibe of that creepy, Severance themed, post-apocalyptic kind of show. Um, and I just thought they looked great. I thought the girls' costumes were great as well. I thought the use of they had like LED like wrist cuffs that they used, and I thought that was just a brilliant use of lights. I feel like a little bit in show choir, like having the um, turning off the lights and oh, we got some thing on our body. Like it can become kind of trite at some point, but they did it in a way that was so refreshing and so professional that I just loved it. I love their costumes this year, and they didn't do a costume change, which is a little bit out of character for Low Style, but I wasn't complaining because I thought they were beautiful. Um, and yeah, I love them. All right, let's take a look if we have some more questions. Predictions for pedal. We're not going to do predictions for comps that aren't this week, just because we'll do them on the week that they happen. Um, let's see. Thoughts on browser, Captain. Let's take a look at this. What do we think the best Wisconsin competition is going to be this year? And actually, Dylan, you get us started, but before that, it looks like Ankeny Centennial has wrapped, so the judges should be in deliberation for Sioux Falls Jefferson, so we should be getting those results in very, very soon. And Holman, it looks like Nina is in their closer. That looks like closer energy. So we should be getting those results pretty soon as well. Dylan, you start us off on best Wisconsin competition this year.
In my opinion, I think the best Wisconsin competition happened tonight. I think I think it was Holman. I
Yeah.
think obviously having a group like Walking Northwest at your competition, that's just something that elevates it to the next level. But I think also just the great lineup of groups there. There was like not only with like your Onalaska's and your Sparta, but like there was a but like finals was kind of pretty hard to predict here, and that's always something that makes a good comp is when it's hard to predict. There's a few groups I could have seen making finals, and yeah, just like it's a great Wisconsin lineup, some great out of state energy too. I know EOS and also South St. Paul from Minnesota. So yeah, that's Holman's definitely up there for Wisconsin comps.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think Holman takes it for me. All the reasons you said, the out of state presence was big. The lineup was great. It was hard to predict. It was competitive. And I'm excited to see those results. Kortney, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, it's in between Holman and Sparta because at Sparta you have on Alaska going against Bloomington Kennedy's Rhythm and Gold with a bunch of other smaller schools that could take any third or fourth or fifth because you also have Reedsburg Coraliers there
Yeah,
and Seville Spotlighters from Craig. You have multiple other schools that could pull out a top five.
yeah. All right. Let's check if we have anything else in the chat before we do our last activity of the day. Top Southern choirs. Let's give. We will be probably redoing this again once we get closer to the South's competition season. But for now, who do you think the top three Southern choirs will be this year? Kortney, how about you start us off?
Yeah, I have to be biased here and say that Killer Blue Lights will be in top three. They have either that or Pantheon. They're both super strong in the Texas region. I know Texas is kind of its own little region, but I still count us as South since we are in the South. And
Right.
then going over towards Alabama and Mississippi, um, there's some throws there. Like I just don't know. You have your Oak Grove, you have your Pedal. Jackson Academy, I feel like has been underrated or Jackson Prep. So you definitely have groups like those or Tulipio that will kind of pull through and round out that top three.
Yeah. I'll go next. I actually think that my it's so hard to pick three. Clinton will be there, obviously. And then for my other two, I think I'm going to go Granada and Oak Mountain, and this is purely off of preference. Um, I think Homewood probably would beat both of those groups in a one-on-one skill wise, but I just love the choreography of Granada so much, and I love their show design so much. And I think Oak Mountain's dancing specifically is, I don't know what, top two, top three, top four. They are just out of this world. They rival, Los Al, they rival Clinton, they rival, Center Grove as far as pure choreography goes, in my opinion. Um, So those will be my three to look out for, with a big shout out to Homewood and Paddle as well. Dylan,
Oh, sorry.
no, you're good.
So I'm not gonna say Clinton because that's a little obvious, I feel like. Let's go. My
Sure.
first one is Broken Arrow.
Mm.
They're they've definitely been on the rise in recent years. I know last year they won Totino Grace, which is a very big comp for them. I know they beat Davenport North and Hastings to do that. Um, um, they they had Center Grove on their toes at Heart of America Los Angeles. That's huge. You
Yes, they did.
don't see that every day. And yeah, and also a year earlier at Wheaton South, they were the first group out of finals in what was one of the maybe the most loaded field of the decade. So I think they're definitely up there, I I think they're gonna have a great year this year. And yeah, I think they're definitely gonna be one to look out for sure, for sure. My number
Definitely.
two, Homewood. Honestly, they might have had my favorite show last year. They really might have had my favorite show last year. I I don't know. The theme was amazing. They pull off so well. Their vocals are obviously incredible. And just like, yeah, their energy, yeah, they probably had my favorite show last year. And I remember at Nationals a couple years ago, they had Linmar on their toes. They had them on their toes. I think it was like a 3-2 judge vote in favor of Linmar. So they're going up against another group of that caliber in Center Grove this year. If they can do that again, they might be in contention. They might be in contention to pull a big upset there.
Yeah.
And my third group, um, I'm gonna have to go with Pedal again. That I just love their choreo so much. It's just
Yeah,
great, and
it's great.
also their energy is just phenomenal. They're a great group. I think they're gonna make some noise this year. And yeah, that's gonna be my three picks.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop off on my little soapbox real quick about Homewood. Um, I loved their show last year. I thought their Coachella set was fantastic. I thought their vocals were great. I thought the arrangements were great. Show design was great. Stop going to Los Al's comp. Please. I can never go because I'm traveling on that day with Diamond Bar choirs pretty much every single year. And also, none of the big three go to that competition ever. So please, you guys went to go beat Chaparral, and all love to Chaparral, but it's not really the same. It's not really the same thing, man. Come to Burbank. Come to Oceanside. Burroughs, Hart, one of those middle of the year competitions, because I can't see you if you go to Los Al. So, if you're talking about if your group is thinking about coming to California, do it. Just don't go to Los Al, please. Um,
Tay,
and
I agree.
yes.
I agree with Tay. I don't know what's happening at Holman whatsoever. I think this is the most confused I've ever been about a show choir competition. There's two hot dogs, there's Aladdin, um,
Oh.
there's a Power Ranger.
Oh,
I don't know what's
I think
going
that's
on.
their band up.
Yeah, that's
I
their
know Holman
band.
does like a band exhibition I know near the end, so I think that might be their band.
That's so hilarious.
This is so
This is
funny.
Yeah,
a
there's the genie from Aladdin. There's like a
hold on, I gotta
there's
hop on this
two
live
hot
stream now.
dogs.
Yeah, get on here because I don't know what's going on, but I
I
mean,
feel
I
like
don't hate
they're
it.
I feel like they're making fun of us for being up this late caring about their competition.
Probably.
There's a bee,
Um,
a minion. Wow.
What? Well,
I think that's an axolotl onesie. Fun fact.
Oh yeah.
Um, what is going on?
Dude, I don't know. And Flexing Mac and Maximus, we're not going to be discussing individual groups right now just because we may not have enough knowledge combined to all talk about them. Although I do know a lot about Vocal Thunder, obviously. I'm sure you know me. Um, but we're just like heading away from that because we want to be talking about things that all three of us can discuss easily. But we will be talking about both of those groups when they compete because we will be talking about every competition result from every competition every single weekend of the season here on the Teardown from 7 to 10 Pacific Standard Time and 9 to 12 Central Standard Time. Rock the Rock. When is Milton's competition? Is it like 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, I think it's in 2 weeks from now.
Here's what I'll say. Our last activity for the night is the audience prediction choice and the audience top five. So we'll start with the audience prediction choice. So we have 11 of you guys in the chat right now. All put down a competition, and we will pick one to guess just the winners of any competition this season that is listed on showquar.com. Let us know what competition you'd love our thoughts on today. While we watch this gorilla, I think, play trumpet.
This is
Or
actually
maybe
gorilla?
Teletubby.
Oh, now they're doing like the Flo Rida thing.
Oh,
gosh.
okay.
They
We got
are.
Lewis Central, Auburn, Cowtown, Milton, Holman. We already gave our Holman predictions, Tay. Craig. What do you think, Dylan? I'll let you pick.
Um, I think of these, the most interesting to me is Auburn for sure. So if that's cool with you,
That's fine with me. Let's pull up Auburn. I don't know what weekend that is.
that's like the 28th, I think.
Of January or no,
February,
February?
sorry.
Let's see. Let's see if the list is still up. I will, or already up, I should
Yeah,
say.
list is still up.
It is.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Okay. So, this is February 28th. Auburn, Oak Mountain Singers, Granada Vision, Spain Park, Rhapsody in Blue, Homewood, The Network, Pedal Sensations, and Opelika, with also Briarwood Christian in the mix in Tier 2, Albertville and Homewood. Any groups in Tier 3 that could make it? Probably not. Okay. We will just pick the winners for this competition because we will be talking about it more when it happens on February 28th. What is your take on this, Dylan? Who would you like? I think I know your answer.
Let's go. I think it's gonna be Homewood.
Yeah.
I think their vocals are vocally they're on enough. They're probably they might be the best in the South. They really might be the best in the South vocally. I know we haven't seen them and Clinton go on in forever, but yeah, they might be the best vocally in the South. And their choreo has just taken a huge step forward in the recent years as well.
I
So I think
agree.
they're just their best all around group. I think they're going to win this. And this is also a competition that if they want to place high nationals and maybe challenge Center Grove there, they need to win this competition to get that momentum going. And I think they're going to do just that.
Yes. All right, Kortney, what do we think?
Devil's advocate. I'm going with Oak Mountain.
All right.
I'm sorry. I know Homewood's super strong, but I'm taking Oak Mountain.
See, my head is telling me Homewood. My brain is telling me Homewood. But my heart is telling me Granada Visions takes this. So all three of us will have a different prediction for the winner of Auburn. Wow. that's going to be a crazy competition. I really hope that's live streamed. I would love to watch it. Um, and yeah, we won't be commenting on individual groups, James, but we will definitely be discussing Naperville North as soon as they compete. We'll be discussing every group that's competing at some points. Um, and yeah, so our last activity of the day, as we wait for these last two results, we have Holman and Jefferson, I believe, in deliberation right now. Oh, here
Oh,
comes
here's
awards for Jefferson.
nope. It's
Oh, what is this? Oh, is this it? No!
have they still not gone on?
Oh my gosh, they're doing an exhibition. It's 11:30.
My poor sleep schedule.
Jefferson, no.
Oh,
Um, okay, it looks
Okay.
like they're doing, I thought they were out of deliberation doing awards there, but it looks like they are doing their treble group exhibition right now. Oh, it's gonna be a while, folks. Strap in. Um, but we will get those results to you when we get them.
Holman's
Um,
band is still going strong. Oh, they're taking their bows.
all right, the band is heading off.
Holman, any minute now.
Oh, any minute now, Holman. Well, while we wait for that, let's have our last activity of the night. We want to know our audience's top 5 groups. So if you're in the audience and if you are watching right now, put in the chat um, what you think, who you think the top 5 groups of this year will be, and we'll give our thoughts on that. Let us know.
I'm scared that Holman's about to do an actual exhibition as well.
I'll cry.
I know.
Please don't. Holman.
Give us your top 5 groups for this season in the chat, guys. Let us know who you think.
Dylan, our sleep schedules are about to be so gone.
It
Nope,
doesn't look like
they
there's a.
are doing final awards.
Oh, Holman's doing.
Okay, I will turn on my audio. Let's see if we can. So when they start, you should be able to hear it from my speakers. If not, let me know. All right. Teddy Neesmith, T&E Smith says number 1, Johnston, number 2, Linmar, number 3, Center Grove, number 4, Oak Mountain, and number 5, Gretna. Interesting. Gretna top 5. Could they do it? Could they make that leap?
If they win Chesterton this year,
Yeah, if they win
they're in that
Chesterton.
conversation.
This is interesting because I believe Johnston and Linmar face off, and I think Linmar and Gretna also face off, right?
Yeah.
So we'll know pretty soon how the 3 of those will pan out. And Center Grove, obviously. No California groups in there. I'm mad at you. All right. Flexing Max says for Wisconsin, number 1 Sparta, number 2 Burst of Adrenaline. Is that also Sparta? So that's Sparta and Sparta, 1 and 2. I feel like I'm sensing a little bit of bias here. And then number 3 Onalaska, 4 Chester, then 5 Milton. What do we think about that? Any thoughts on that list right there?
There's more people dancing on stage at Holman, so that's all I'm focusing
Dude, what
on.
is happening
I'm
at
so
home?
lost.
It's like, do they have brooms?
You guys,
They have brooms.
stay on this live stream, of course, but if you've got another device, open up
Yeah.
the
Open
Holman
up.
Gathering live stream. It's absolute cinema right now. Let's see. Robbie Jack says in Iowa, his top 5, he has Linmar 1, Johnston 2, Ankeny Visual Adrenaline 3, Ankeny Centennial 4, and Waukee Northwest 5. We actually just did our top 3 Iowa groups, and we have pretty similar lineups to you. I believe I had Ankeny Centennial actually taking 3, as did Kortney, and Dylan, you had Waukees Millennium coming in 3rd right there,
Yeah.
who didn't make your list. So we are well versed in the Iowans this year. Great list there. I assume you would have Waukee Millennium at that 6. Let's see. Any other predictions? I don't see any unless I missed them. A few like Burrows is 6 for yeah. Okay. I have audio from Holden. How does it sound like you guys saying?
It's okay.
Okay, yeah.
As long as it's not blowing out the speakers.
We do a 50-50. We had a 50-50 raffle going on this evening. So, 50-50 raffle.
Okay, they're doing a 50-50 raffle. So while they do that, Delaney asks what our top Nebraska groups of the season will be. And I have to say, for my hot take, I think Gretna East will be the best group. I've heard great things about them. That's who I think will take it. Who would be your top Nebraska group this year, Dylan? What do you think?
I'm gonna go Gretna East.
Gretna East.
They've increased in size. They have they've increased in size. They have basically the Nebraska choreographer and Stephen Todd working for them now. So yeah, and after the year they had last year, I think their only direction they're going is up.
Yeah, Kortney, what do we think?
I'm gonna agree. I've heard a lot of good things about them and how they're just gonna keep improving, especially with such a strong choreographer behind them this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Gretna off for that top spot in Nebraska. Gretna or Gretna East could take it. Obviously, you got to give a shout out to Westside. Westside is just such a powerhouse over there, and with that new driver series, I'm sure they'll look different. But big group out of Nebraska as well. Okay, we're hearing some best performers from Holman. Of course, we care about Indiana small mixed. We care about everyone here. We will definitely give our thoughts on the small mixed in Indiana, though, as the competition comes up. Indiana's not season like that, but we'll be talking a lot about the small mixed groups, like once we get to the competition and stuff like that. Let's turn down my audio. It seems like the Sioux Falls Jefferson exhibition is still continuing on right now, but we should be getting results pretty soon. Top 3 Oklahoma show cars of all time. I mean, Jenks, Broken Arrow. Those are the only 2 I know off the top of my head. What do you think, Kortney? Do you have a top 3 Oklahoma show flyers?
Broken Arrow, Jenks, probably Durant, maybe.
Durant.
I feel like there's really no bigger show choirs besides those 2 in Oklahoma, so it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, those are the 2 that see so a lot of national support, I would say. Talk about Pleasant Hill. We will when they compete. Promise. Wait, they did compete today, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we already addressed all the competitions today, so we had a little bit of a chat about Pleasant Hill a few hours ago. So make sure you guys tune in at the start of the show at 9 p.m. Central. That's when we start, and we talk about results all throughout the day. We're in the home stretch now. So many best performers are doing a best performer for every group. They're trying to kill us, I think.
They want me and Dylan to sleep for 5 hours.
Seriously. Do you guys have an early morning, or?
I do not, so I can do this as long as I need to.
Okay.
I do, but I'm fine.
All right. If you have to step out for any reason, we get it.
I'm just making jokes.
Oh yeah.
Hi, sound system person.
Hello. Is
Hello.
that Center Grove sound system? I imagine there's a few. Oh yeah,
I think so, yeah.
there's a few sound systems.
Shout out sound system.
Congratulations, my friends from Nina. And two members who are hosting the Home Pie and Midwest Express were also selected.
What are they talking about?
Jefferson's still going on for exhibition.
No Waters.
Oh my God, they're still talking about people. Oh, okay. Sound system favorite choir of all time. Extremely valid take. I saw them live at HOA LA last year, and they blew my mind. They're definitely in contention with all three of the category three and everyone, everywhere. They're excellent. Okay, some more awards. They're thanking the audience.
Here and also affecting the community. Thank all the volunteers, the whole administration.
Come on, Holman.
Dude, skip it. Skip it.
Holy smokes. This is my least favorite part of any competition is the ramble.
Yeah.
You have one request that chairs here in the gym. We are so grateful for that additional help, but we ask that you leave the chairs in place.
This is our experiment.
Sort of.
Oh, Jenks. Well, you guys have Dominic Matos doing your set. It's always going to be a little experimental. That's like his
It's
whole
okay.
deal.
It's not like your set was leaked.
Oh, was it?
It was for a little bit, but I think they changed it.
That's so sad. I've heard of that happening.
It's okay.
Gonna get a best student section. That'd be interesting. Okay.
Award time.
Reedsburg Coraliers has taken back the last Nina,
Enough.
the fifth runner-up. Write that down.
I got it.
Our third runner-up.
Third runner-up.
Trophy's going back to Sock Prairie, executive
Sock Prairie,
Sock
third
Prairie. Okay, so we have. Okay. Locked in.
Second runner-up. Hilltoppers on Alaska.
Whoa! On Alaska in
Okay.
third! On Alaska in third! I thought so, but I didn't really think so. Oh.
EOS.
Best choreography to EOS. This is strange. Why are they not saying?
Best vocals. EOS.
Okay.
Best vocals, yes.
And EOS will sweep Holman Gathering. Let's get the official. Sparta, first runner.
Big.
Big for Sparta.
Big
Huge
for Sparta.
And
Oh, they're excited.
that's what I wanted to happen. That's what I thought would happen.
Okay.
Psyched. Northwest EOS will win it.
EO sweep.
EOS
EOS
sweep.
sweep.
So that again is in first place, sweeping Waukee Northwest EOS. In second place, Sparta. Upstage Adrenaline takes it. In third, on Alaska Hilltoppers. In fourth, that was Sock Prairie Executive Session. In fifth place.
Will wants to be let in.
Let him in. Let him in.
Let's do it. Get him in. Get him in here.
Let's finish reading this off real quick. Nina Vintage in fifth place and Reedsburg in sixth. Will Soka, our editor-in-chief, would like a word.
Let him
Bring him in here. Bring him
Let him
in here.
in. He's not here. Twin. Hello,
Mr. Editor.
What do we
Hello.
think? The upset of the day.
I'm in the parking lot of Holman High School right now. Just got out of an absolutely electric award ceremony, one of the fastest I've been to in a while. because we are an hour and 10 minutes behind schedule. As I need to make sure I don't get hit by any of these minivans that are rolling around this parking lot here. Where are we at? Who are we talking about?
We actually were just watching live the results of Holman, and we are talking about the upset of the week,
Really?
Sparta over on Alaska. That was big.
It was big, and I tell you what, I was talking to some people. I was sitting kind of in a row, three of us for finals, and at the end of the finals round, all three of us had very different predictions for how it would go down.
Hmm.
And after prelims, I thought to myself, wow, that Sparta show was within shouting distance of on Alaska. And they are here, as if the Fame Finals win or Fame Finals runner-up wasn't enough, as if their good placements last year wasn't enough. When you beat on Alaska, you have arrived as a Wisconsin show choir.
Yes.
On Alaska, just absolute institution in the state. Sparta, with their Olympics theme, electric show, absolutely electric. They sing much better than they have in past years. I think that's what made the difference. They have some of the best Kevin stuff that I've seen in recent memory. And I think this is a very well-deserved first runner-up for Sparta.
Yeah, I have the exact same thoughts. I watched most of these groups, and I, of course, saw on Alaska, Sparta, and Waukee Northwest as kind of the powerhouses of this competition. Um, and I thought maybe they could do it. Sparta seemed, to my eyes, just a little bit better, but I don't know. The live stream and the singing, it's always hard to judge. I gave my prediction here. I made the hot take that Sparta would dethrone on Alaska. Um, and indeed they did. What do we think, Dylan? We'll go to you first.
Yeah, massive for Sparta. This is something I've been like Chris. I've been wanting to see. No shade on Alaska, but Sparta's just become one of my favorite groups in Wisconsin in recent years. So just to see them rise up like this big for them, and I'm excited to see them where they go this year. I know, like I said earlier, they'll be at El Paso, where a comp where Wisconsin groups have done super well. They face Troy Buchanan and Mount Zion. They're in the conversation to win there now. They are firmly in the conversation to win there now. So I'm very excited to see how that goes down. For sure.
Definitely. And Kortney, before you give your take, it looks like Sioux Falls Jefferson is ready to announce awards pretty soon.
Correct.
I will let you know as soon as that starts, but go ahead and give your take on the Holman Gathering results.
Yeah, huge win for Sparta here. I feel like on Alaska and Sparta we're kind of going to battle it out for the who could get the higher points this time around. But obviously Sparta pulled through, and like Dylan kind of said, it puts them in a really great spot looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah. Will, what does this mean for Wisconsin show choir as a whole? We were just talking about River City's big win um, today. What are your top three Wisconsin groups now after the dust has settled?
I don't think you can dethrone on Alaska after one event. I mean, at the end of 2023, they fell to De Pere at Western Dubuque. That was a bit of an uncharacteristic outing for them. And on Alaska, they're usually a very polished choir at the beginning of the season. They have run over early season events for a long time. What I think this means is that Wisconsin is finally back on the come up. There were a couple of uh, a little bit rough years right after the pandemic. I'm not going to lie, where there were not a lot of shows that could contend on a regional level. I would say even really going up to 2024. But in 2025, we saw Lacrosse take down Troy Buchanan. Also in 2025, we saw De Pere beat Lewis Central. Those are some pretty solid out-of-state wins for groups that came to Wisconsin, right? But wins over good out-of-state groups. And Sparta's right there in that conversation now. Sparta's going to go to Minnesota and compete. Sparta's going to go to Illinois and compete, like Dylan talked about earlier. But I think this means that Wisconsin Show Choir just has another group now that can compete on a regional level. And it just makes me really, really happy because, as I wrote in my Wisconsin season preview this year, really the state's goal should be for all of these shows to be getting stronger. Gone are the days where on Alaska, Janesville, Craig, and La Crosse Central are all nearly untouchable. And if the three of them show up, you just better hope you're gunning for fourth. Janesville Craig, not a power anymore. Lacrosse, we see in a different iteration. Onalaska is still holding pretty strong. But to see a group like Sparta come up and take the mantle like this is great. While we're at it, I also want to give
Number
shout.
two, we get to.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I think we might be getting some results in. I'm sorry to cut you off like that.
Last
No
year we
worries.
gave away 6 of these, and of those 6 kids, 3
Or
of
we
them
might get
came
some
from
yapping
Morningside, along
for
with
10
others.
minutes.
Okay, so while we get the yapping,
Our largest freshman class.
Yeah.
I want to shout out the bottom 3 groups and finals. I want to shout out Sauk Prairie, Neenah, and Reedsburg. I will say Neenah is a group that got better from prelims to finals. They are a small group. They only have 33, which for Wisconsin varsity standards is on the smaller side. Reedsburg, they had a rough January and a great February last year, and they are already making this January better than last January was. Reedsburg's had very up and down years in the past 10 years. If this can be an up year, that would be great for them. Also, Sauk Prairie, this is the most polished I've seen Sauk Prairie at the start of the season for at least a few years. Their vocals were what impressed me the most. They are eyeing up a season-ending trip to Biloxi in Mississippi, and if they can get their vocals down, I don't think you're going to outdance many big Southern groups just coming from the Midwest and coming from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But if you get your vocals down and put that big category on the Carmen score sheet in your favor, I think things will go really well for them. So Sauk Prairie, they haven't hit the win column since 2023. I don't know if I see a slam dunk win opportunity for them, but I think they'll definitely be in high conversation a few places this season.
Definitely. All right. I love that you mentioned.
From Omaha South, Fatima Huizar.
Okay, they're doing best performers. Seems. I love that you mentioned that Sparta will be going to Minnesota because I totally forgot about that. But I will be seeing them on January 31st, and now I am so psyched. I love that show. It was electric. Great win for them. And yeah, shout out to all those groups in the lower third or in the lower half of the results. That was fantastic.
While Fatima comes down,
I think Waukee Northwest,
I'll make my announcement for Roosevelt.
a lot of people
Joey
expect
Vault.
captions and win.
Yeah.
I love my state, but my as a like we're
Is he cutting out for you as well?
Yeah.
Sorry,
And-
Will. We couldn't hear much of what you said. You're just cutting in and out.
Am I back now?
Oh yes, so
Yes.
back.
Johnson has a penchant for doing some novelty shows, and that's fine and dandy. But Waukee Northwest has a show that makes you think. It's not like a real tearjerker, but it's
Yeah.
one where you're there and you're like, I'm gonna have to think about this over the next couple days. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate all the effort that Jack Dobbitz and the rest of the creative team at Waukee Northwest put into that show because I really I absolutely get those vocal support.
Perfect. I loved EOS' show this year. I thought it was great. I love EOS' show every year. Yes, we will read off Holman placements again. Well, let's make sure that we're not missing Sioux Falls Jefferson Awards.
We might have just missed something.
Well, you guys give us
Let's rattle off Holman again one more time. We had sixth place
Reedsburg,
Reedsburg Warriors. We had. Oh, actually, you go ahead, Will.
sixth place Reedsburg Years, fifth
Charlie.
place fourth place Sauk Prairie Executive Session, third place Onalaska Hilltoppers, second place Sparta Upstage Adrenaline, and first place with vocals and choreo Waukee Northwest EOS.
That's right.
Holder.
All right, I'm going to duck out so that I can drive safely, but good luck on the rest of the show, and I'm glad that you guys are hitting the end of it here because I know you guys have been going at it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See you guys next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a few changes to showcar.com with the implementation of EasyCom, Rylan, so don't worry about it. It might be a little bit different. They might change it back. It's still kind of in development, as far as I know. Okay. Wow, this is a lot of fanfare.
I wonder if they're like scholarships or something.
It seems like it. Yeah, because they're getting like certificates.
Probably SCA scholarships.
Congratulations,
Okay.
way to go. What a great spot to be in on the first weekend. Congrats all.
All right, thank you. Now get off the stage so we can get results. Sioux Falls Jefferson results coming to you very, very soon.
If we could get representatives from each of our finalists up on stage.
Oh my gosh, they have to still walk up on stage. Okay, we have a little bit of time. It seems. So again, do you want to run back through our predictions of Sioux Falls Jefferson? Kortney, you start us off with what your top 3 was.
What did I have? Now I forgot.
Oh, wait, Dylan, do you remember yours? Do you want to start maybe?
For Sioux Falls Jefferson?
Yeah.
Spectrum, Omaha South, Vortex, I think was my top 3.
Yeah, I remember I was the same.
Wasn't I the same?
We might have all 3 had the same prediction.
I think we did.
So the show choir, homeroom show choir official take is
All right.
Centennial in first, Omaha South in second, and Vortex in third.
All right. Let's do it.
My phone just gave me the low battery warning. We're getting down
I know.
All right.
Here. My iPad is dead.
Fifth runner up.
Fifth runner up.
Sioux Falls Roosevelt Executive Suites.
Sioux Falls,
Falls
Roosevelt in 6th place.
Our 4th runner-up tonight.
Interesting.
Vortex!
Oh! Vortex, Ankeny Centennial in 5th place.
My takes. No.
That seems quite low by my estimation.
Our third runner-up.
4th place.
Omaha South, the Ambassadors.
Omaha South.
What? Okay. Wow.
Okay, so I also get to give out some Best Performer awards, which is
Oh
really
my
fun.
gosh. They're giving out more Best Performers.
Will be coming in the mail, or when we see you at a later competition, promise, in the next week or 2.
No! Halfway
So,
through.
I'm gonna call your name. You're just gonna stand up and everybody's gonna cheer for you. Cool? All right. First of all, from Vortex, Kenny Light.
Why are they doing these in the middle of the placements? They're killing us.
From Omaha South.
For real. They are milking it. So either Sioux Falls, Washington, or Aberdeen Central is top 2. That's wild. I did like, Sioux Falls, Washington. I did love Sioux Falls, Washington's show.
Farmel.
And we get to see too much of Aberdeen.
From Sioux Falls, Washington, Josiah Holder.
Are they doing it for all the finalists?
Yeah, we're still getting Best Performers, I think, for all of the finalists.
Spectrum, Sophia Royster.
Okay, that should be the last one. Let's get on with it. Let's see
do
the
it.
top 3. Top 3.
Actually, the second best performer.
What is this?
All right. Second runner-up tonight.
Third place, second runner-up.
Classic Connection.
Sioux
Wait.
Falls, Washington. Wow.
Wait, what?
Sioux Falls, Washington will take third.
Third? Okay.
Our first runner-up. Aberdeen Eagle Express.
Aberdeen, second place.
And this evening, or this night now, it's nighttime, your best vocals, best visuals, And grand champion goes
Ankeny
to
Centennial Spectrum.
Ankeny
Sweep the
Centennial
competition.
Spectrum with the sweep.
So that is, again, in this order. In 6th place, we had Sioux Falls Roosevelt Executive Suite. In 5th place, we had Ankeny Centennial Vortex. Am I correct so far?
Yeah.
In 4th place, we had Omaha South, the Ambassadors. In 3rd place, we had Sioux Falls Washington Classic Connection. In 2nd place, we had Aberdeen Central Eagle Express. And in 1st place, best choreo, best vocals, Ankeny Centennial Spectrum. Kortney, you start us off.
I
What do you
think,
think?
yeah, Spectrum was an obvious win here. Everything else is a shock. I feel like
Yeah.
maybe we just suck at our jobs. Who knows? But Eagle Express in second, and then Sioux Falls, Washington third, Ambassadors. I think I personally placed all of these at least one slot higher than they landed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's kind of a shock. I have no words. I'm speechless at this point.
All right, Dylan, what's your take?
Aberdeen Central, great start for them. This is a choir that I think had a very good 2023-2024 season. I think they fell off the radar a little bit in 2025, didn't get the results they were looking for. This is a great start. This is a great start. I think if they can keep this up, I think they can get themselves back at the top of the South Dakota scene. And another one, Omaha South, maybe not quite the placement they were looking for today, but still a long season ahead. Like I said, I think they have a great show, some great energy, and I think it's only going to get better from here. I think those are my two.
Yeah. Um, Ankeny Centennial Spectrum, I will give this take now. I think that they are in rare form right now. I watched that show in prelims live, and I thought it was their best show since 2020. I thought that was excellent, and excuse me, I'm super excited to see how they compete moving forward when they start to face some more high level Iowa competition. Um, you know, a win for them. They took care of business. Congrats to them. Ankeny Centennial Vortex. I'm really surprised at how low they placed because I thought that this was their best show as well. And this is one of my favorite women's groups or treble groups for that matter of all time. And I thought they were fantastic. Judges tend to not love to put um, treble groups over mixed groups, and I understand why, and I get it. But I think um, Vortex very easily could have overtaken one or two more of these groups. Um, yeah, Nathan is right. It was a business trip for Ankeny Centennial, and they handled it. Um, awesome, awesome, awesome for Aberdeen Central. Um, I believe, yeah, this was their highest. Last year they did not have a second place finish all season, and they finished second place against some pretty stacked competition in one of the most competitive fields of the night. Um, so really, really big for them. They're coming back into form after their stellar 2024 season. Um, so really, really good for them. It seems like this new director, Susan Apple, is really finding herself, and they're really, really hitting their stride. And I loved what I saw from them. I didn't get to hear their singing. I just watched their choreography um, during this show, but really, really great from them. And Omaha South, same take as Dylan. I loved your show. I had you in second place in my predictions. I thought your show was great. It's super impressive. It's always hard to predict these based on live stream just because you never really truly know how the vocals sound in that room. So you can really only go based off of what you can see and what you can hear through the live stream. Um, really great from Sioux Falls, Washington. That Stranger Things show looked great. Their dancing looked great. Really promising stuff from all of these groups. Where would you rank Ankeny Centennial out of the Iowa groups? Funny you should ask. We actually did do a top 3 rankings of Iowa groups, and Ankeny Centennial was the 3rd place group for both me and Kortney. I'm thinking it's possible to take that number 2 spot for them this year, but I would still have them pretty solidly in 3rd for now. So let's do a quick recap of the Homeroom Show Choir Comps of the Week. We'll tell you the winners. At Sioux Falls Jefferson, as you just heard, Ankeny Centennial Spectrum, Best Vocals, Best Visuals, Grand Champion at Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavalier Classic. At Holman Gathering, taking Best Vocals, Best Choreography, and first place, we had Waukee Northwest EOS. And at Des Moines Christian Illumination, in first place, Best Vocals, Best Choreography, Waukee Millennium. And our last one was, where is it? Maryville, correct? Yes, I believe so. Maryville, first place, Oak Park, Oak Street Singers, Vocals and Choreography. Huge win for them. First place at Maryville Spoofhound Spectacular. Am I missing one? Or is that's all of them?
Des Moines Christian.
I did say Des Moines Christian.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Waukee Millennium, first place, Best Vocals, Choreography.
I think that's.
All right. We'll go with our quick last question of the day. Kortney, who was your favorite group of the day?
I think it's always amazing to see Millennium. They have proven time and time again that they keep having the momentum that they do, and I think they're a great group, and obviously they deserve this win today.
Dylan, group of the day.
Group of the day. I think I'm gonna go Sparta for my group of the day. Just a great show, great energy, great choreo, and they made a big move today. They they went in and said we are contending for the throne of Wisconsin, and that's nothing but respect, nothing but admiration. They're my group of the day for sure.
Yeah. My group of the day, I'm going to have to go with Ankeny Centennial Spectrum. I've already given my take. I think they're excellent. I loved their show. Close second, Waukee Millennium, some of the best dancing of the day, if not the best dancing of the day. And I love watching some great choreography on live stream. Any last minute thoughts or takes from the two of you, or should we get you guys to bed?
I don't think I have any.
Happy week 1.
Happy week
Happy
one.
week 1. All right, everyone, have a good night. I've been Chris Mendoza. Kortney.
I'm Kortney Minnick.
And I'm Dylan Moss.
And we will see you next week, same time, Saturday, from 9 to 12 Central Standard Time. Have a great night, guys.